America.
Yeah,
so
Twin 5-0, the last defender, going up against Ku, who we haven't talked much about, but he's an Ninjara main, who that's a character we don't usually see in high-level ARMS play, but he makes it work, and he's got like such a great passion about the game as well. He made a really good run himself at, what was the event? At Switchfest, yes. And was he also at Smash and Splash? I know he made it into top 8 there, but I don't remember how deep he made it.
I think he was I think he was on the bottom half of the top 8, or maybe even 9th. I'm not 100% sure. He's definitely been up and down on his results, but here he was able to prove himself. A lot of people were doubting Ku, saying, okay, well, there's a lot more consistent players here, but you know, if there's any place to make an upset, it's EVO. Am I right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's where you just put everybody wrong. It's like, hey, you know, you're talking about my results, but this is the result. Is what happens here at EVO, what happens at the World Championship. This is what actually goes down in the books.
Exactly.
So, like, you know, of all the places to muster your courage and like, if you're going to be consistent for one bracket, make it EVO. You know?
Yeah, exactly. All right, so I think it looks like on the stage we got Pega and Chateau coming out, so it looks like we're starting off with loser semis.
Okay.
So this is EVO, so only finals will be best of 5, so this match here, loser semis, will be best of 3.
Oh, man, that's so brutal.
Yeah.
These two go pretty close together in their sets. I know Pega edges out all the time, but like Chateau is definitely nothing to be sniffed at.
These two play pretty much decidedly the two best characters in the game, you know, Max Brass and Coil respectively. Coil amazing with her aggression and defensive options. Every time she's in knockdown, she goes invisible.
Yeah.
So it's harder to see what her defensive options are and to try and punish some habits or anything like that.
Yeah.
Additionally, we have Max Brass, who's aggression incarnate, is able to buff up every time, keep those arms charged, get some armor, ridiculous armor, mind you, better than Mechanicas and Mummies, for example. Pretty much just permanent armor. You won't you don't have to be throwing a punch or jumping or dashing. You can just stand still and you still take the hits too.
Yeah.
Which is pretty terrifying altogether.
That's what makes Pega so scary as a player, is that he has this fantastic character who's so good at keeping on that pressure, and then he's so good at closing the distance himself safely as the opponent tries to go to a fight, and then he just gets them into the corner, and then it's just done. So when he gets him a knockdown and he's a fully buff, strong Max Brass, like the commish just goes to town.
Yeah. It's only 5 seconds, but when you get a regrab, then that continues the buff mode. And if you get a knockdown, you can just charge again, you know? So it's consistent pressure throughout the match.
Go on. Yeah.
That's not to say that there isn't no way to play against it. We just saw Twin 5-0 like able to get out of those pressure situations, but it's definitely depending on the character.
Yeah.
How easy they are to deal with a character like Max Brass.
Yeah, generally across ARMS, like we see a pretty good representation of characters like across the board. It's not really that stratified to like, oh, you got to be playing Max Brass or Coil, or otherwise you're making your life harder. I've seen all sorts of characters make it up into the top 8s in this game. So it is actually a really well-balanced game, and a big part of that is, of course, the ARM selection. The fact that you do have that ability to select your loadout going into a matchup for what you might particularly need. So like we've been talking about Pega and his Max Brass a lot, the armor doesn't really work against like a firearm or something like that. So like you can load up an explosion or something like that to deal with those these specific matchup problems, and that helps even out the matchup ratios a lot in this game.
That's another thing too, is that sometimes it's not necessarily about the character, then that's really hard to talk about in a tier list for a game like ARMS. It's because you got different loadouts, you got different combinations, so there's going to be a lot of factors to be playing in too. So the loadout is definitely the most important thing when you think about ARMS. You know, what kind of abilities do you want? Do you want to annoy your opponent? Do you want to consistently pressure them onto knockdown? Do you have a backup arm in case you have to fight an armored character like Mummy or Mechanica? Things like that. So that's going to be something that we have to consider as well going into this to these matches.
And what makes it so stressful, it's impossible to have a loadout that handles every situation. Like you're always, there's going to be some matchup, some player, some play style that you need to go into something else with. But we're going to be going right now into the loser semifinals. Looks like both of them are getting ready to go. Headset ready to go. We see the thumbs up from both players.
Yep. And as you see, both of them rocking the jerseys. Detonation Gaming sponsors the 3 top Japanese players, actually. So brings them out to every ARMS tournament they can, and they usually take over. As we talked about, all three of them are in the top 4 here at EVO 2018.
That's so incredible to see an org have like this kind of interest, like pick up so many fantastic players, and to make sure that their presence is always felt in the community.
Yep. Looks like we're going ahead and starting on Buster Beach. There is the little bench or platform, whatever the heck that is, at the beach. And that's going to be able to stop a little bit of movement. Coil will just be able to fly right over that. Max Brass might be stop just a little bit. Here we go. Let's see what they start with.
It makes sense as a neutral pick because the platform helps Coil's movement so that she can leverage that better. But then Pega and Max Brass, they have those little pocket corners where if he can force Chateau there, he's going to have a field day. So they both have things that they like a lot here.
So it looks like we have Chateau rocking at least one roaster, or excuse me, toaster, to be able to get fire knockdown, get them down from armor.
He's also got the nade too for the explosion.
Yeah. Okay, the explosion knocks down Coil, so Pega's able to apply a little bit of pressure, but that's what I'm talking about. The invisibility, it's kind of hard for Pega to see where his opponent's going to be.
He's just kind of have to make a guess, right? He has to read a lot sooner than he has to against other opponents.
Yeah. And you see right there what Pega is doing is that if you get hit on your shield and you dash immediately, you can do what's called a shield parry, and this allows you to punish immediately after. Sometimes your opponent will be able to navigate around it, so sometimes you have to get a read on their movement, but it's still very useful too, especially as a character like Max Brass. Goes in with the rush, jumps over both arms, is able to get 280 damage out of that.
And the other thing to point out too is after each of Max Brass's dashes, you see that little blue spiral around, and that's kind of like a parry field. Any arm that's caught there is just going to drop to the ground, and that helps his approaches even more. That's how he's able to keep closing this gap against this flying menace. But he gets picked up by that rush, and so now the health bars are nearly even after that. Dead even between Pega and Chateau.
Yeah. Oh, and the fire knockdown again. He's just catching them. He's just going to the side every time. He's like, I got to get out of this corner. But the flurry of the gloves is just a little bit too much for Pega. And he's having a hard time actually getting his aggression started. The explosion just catches him at the end there. And Chateau's going to take a round run.
Yeah, that explosion really paying out because Pega was in his last 25% health. And Max Brass also gets like his permanent buff mode, his own comeback kid mechanic, so to speak. That's just the beginning now of round 2. Both players actually entering the round with full meter ready to go. So you're going to have to be very cautious about what they throw out because they know the other guy can punish it hard with that rush explosion.
Yeah. And you can see Pega, his defensive play is pretty good too. He has the same, Max Brass has the same ability as a character like either Springtron or Springman, where after a dash you're able to release this wave of energy that blocks those arms immediately and you can still act out of it. Goes in for the rush again and Chateau has nowhere to go. So that's 250 damage and the knockdown. Let's see what he gets here.
Oh, isn't able to follow up Chateau. He's able to fly away, and he still has his own rush, too. The thing is, their health is so close, and Chateau has rush. So he's actually in a fantastic position to really cement a lead now.
Oh, and it goes for his own rush. Oh, but the explosion just catches him before the rush could come out. That's the thing. If a charged explosion arm is hit, it will explode anyway. And if you're caught in that and you're trying to rush and power through them, it's just going to explode in your face, and you're going to get knocked down.
Right, yeah, they're like multi-hits, and it makes him so good at block pressure, too, because of that.
Ooh, and Chateau, he took game 1.
Yeah, pretty cleanly over Pega, too. Managed to, like, the few times Pega got into, he mixed up his wake-ups really nicely. Pega wasn't able to sort of steamroll, do the vortex that he likes doing on so many other players.
Yeah.
And Chateau then managed his own punish game very, very nicely. Those explosion arms, dealing with the armor effectively.
I think also, too, another factor is just the 2 glove arms that Chateau chose, because they're medium size. They were able to beat out the Tri-Blast a lot of the time. So you see Pega would try to lead with the nade most of the time. He would be able to get those hits, but then sometimes like the Tri-Blast, it would just immediately get knocked down from the glove and beaten out. And so Chateau was able to continue his pressure and his aggression against Pega when he was just trying to get some footing back and trying to get a hit in there.
And the Tri-Blast pick makes a lot of sense, too, for Pega, because you're fighting Coil, who's still more mobile side to side in the air. You want that lateral reaching arm with all 3 missiles going side to side to try to pin down that movement better. But then, like you said, the medium arms being able to protect your own movement so you don't have to worry about the Tri-Blast, and you get to keep up your own aggression at the same time. That's a nice thing.
Yeah. It'll honestly be pretty big if Pega ends his run right here, because this man has been first place all throughout
Evo
a lot
Japan. He just almost swept that.
Evo Japan, Switch Fest, Smash and Splash. This man has been unstoppable.
Yeah.
But maybe he's met his match today.
I've seen him like in some cases like look to other characters every now and then. Like I have seen him mess with the Min Min. I assume he's going to be sticking with Max Brass as his main thing. But I mean, in this sort of situation, and once again being in this top 4 but best of 3, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, we say that. We're Americans. We're so used to it. But then in Evo Japan, it was actually best of 3 all the way through.
Yeah.
So he's actually used to this pressure. He's gone down first game before.
Pega is always known as to be one of the more stoic characters in Japan. You know, even when he wins, he hasn't really popped off too much. You know, there's even photos of him holding his trophy and he's just straight up frowning the whole time because he says he's never content, he's never happy. So I mean, maybe he knows it's like the challenges are coming up. The challengers are here. Try and stop this man's reign. So this is going to be pretty crazy to see this go down.
So, Sedge, you think if he wins, you think we'll see a smile? You think you'll actually feel like triumph? Because like he's on the verge of death right now. Like that has to put a spark of adrenaline into his heart.
Yeah. You can't see it now. He's going to channel it through his character, believe me, guys. So we're going to see it happen. But yeah, I think that Pega will at least be somewhat satisfied. Because it was funny, when he was pulling through losers, like dominating everyone after he lost to Twin, he's just like pushing through everyone, and he was still frowning. So he's like, I need to win. That's the only time I'll be satisfied.
The furious losers run, that is something to be feared always. Just a blaze of destruction, and especially when it's the first seed who goes down before they're expecting it, man. Bodies everywhere.
Exactly. Actually, for this tournament in particular, this is the first and second seed fighting for fourth right now.
Oh my goodness,
Which is pretty crazy to think about. Here we go, going to Temple Grounds, actually.
A really nice wide open space. A lot of pillars to sort of hide behind too. I've seen Pega do a lot of work on this stage, especially because the corners are far away, but there's some really hard angles to escape from, but he can manage to pull that off.
Yeah, the corner here is not exactly a square corner. It's like a little bit of an indent because of the curve. So it's really hard to get out of there, especially against a character like Max Brash. Finally gets a Tri-Blast, able to get that knockdown. Let's see what he picks. He's not able to catch anything.
Chateau's movement is just so good right now, especially the way he's able to like weave between like both pillars and like find his one shots here and there. It's like he's sitting on this really nice lead while still having Rush as a defensive maneuver too in case things get a little bit desperate. But he might not even need it right now. Look how much damage he has on the board. And still full meter.
Yep. Oh, goes for the rush immediately. I think he was expecting maybe either the explosion to be able to hit confirm, but just the endless flurry of arms. That's enough to be able to take round one. Chateau looking real good.
Okay, but all of that damage, of course, that had to burn up the rest of his meter. So now Pega, fantastic position in the start of the second round. He can find a good punish with this meter before Chateau has any time to build up his, but he doesn't. Chateau gets out of the way.
Man, that was a very interesting rush. He just kind of went for it. Usually you'll see characters either wait for one arm or two to whiff and then able to go for a punish there or catch him in a dash or something. But this man just went straight for it. You can kind of see the desperation that Pega is. Yeah,
Pega actually looking a little bit flustered in his gameplay. Like you say, he expresses himself here more than on his face. But right now, Chateau putting up a wall of pressure and is actually managing to snuff out Pega, and his movement being so good at just juking these arms at just the last moment.
Alrighty, he's just continuing on these dashes. He's been doing a good job of weaving around them and just able to deflect the arms, but still the explosions. Able to dash away from that rush just in time. He's going to get his own rush. Let's see what he tries to punish with. Yeah, just goes for the charge instead.
Another opportunity for Pega to put a foot down, because if he loses this round, it's done. His run is over. He has to make it happen now.
That was a really good defensive play with his rush there. He went for the full range grab, and as soon as Chateau tried to punish, he rushed, and he was able to retract his arms immediately and go for the damage there.
Okay, Pega's starting to have a read on these wake-ups. We're seeing him preemptively throw out punches and throws in the correct direction right now. So if he's able to survive this round, he can maybe even pull off a full comeback, but he's going to need to make it out of here against this rush, and he's not going to get to do it. Chateau takes out Pega, leaving him at 4th place at EVO 2018.
A big pop-off coming from Chateau. He is absolutely ecstatic about this win. And you just saw there at the very last second, Pega just a little bit too scared, and he saw that rush coming out, and his first instinct was to dash out of there, and he just put himself in the corner, and that was it, man.
Oh my goodness, not only has Pega been like knocked out, it was at 4th place. Oh, this is just the start of top 4. I don't know. All bets are out now, right?
Yep.
Like
that was my bet for
Rip
today.
Fantasy bracket.
I think I lost about $75 there just now.
Oof.
So I'm playing though, but yeah, it's good, great showing to Chateau. He's just breathing sighs of relief right now. And you could just, I mean, I would be happy if I beat the best player in the world, especially if it's someone from your hometown.
At the EVO stage, too.
Yeah, exactly.
Finally able to defeat your demon on the best like temple ground to do it on, you know?
Whew. So, I mean...
We're going to get our winners finals after that.
Yeah. Alrighty. So, of course, winners finals, it is Twin 5-0 and Ku coming up to the stage. The two characters you don't see too often. Twin 5-0 plays the Lollipop, which is a little bit more common, but Ku, like we said before, pretty much the sole Ninjara. He's able to play aggressively and efficiently with Ninjara, which is something not many people are able to do.
Yeah.
Because the way Ninjara plays, you know, you can teleport, you can vanish in the air. A lot of people think it's like, oh, maybe that's a defensive option, you know? But it's really great on the offensive, and Ku is able to master that perfectly.
Yeah.
Maybe he has a little bit part ninja inside him. You know, maybe like Momochi. He's part of a ninja clan. Who knows?
I mean, the one thing that makes playing Ninjara a little bit bit challenging. He's like, you have to play aggressive because he has a passive that sounds like a perk when you first started playing, where whenever anybody hits your shield, Ninjara automatically teleports in a direction, right? And at first that sounds great. It's just like, wow, nobody can shield pressure me. He's like, well, no, because now everybody knows when they touch your shield, you were forced to commit to a dash.
Yeah.
And then they can start punishing that dash. So, like, you actually can't be caught on the back foot as this character, because anybody who has honed their pressure game is going to tear you apart.
Exactly. Oh, well, we'll see how he goes against Twin5-0. Of course, I was talking about this earlier, is Twin5-0, you know, he plays Lollipop, he plays a little bit on the defensive side, and the reason he was able to take out Pega is that it's one of those play styles that fits perfectly against something that, or someone that wants to apply so much pressure.
Yeah.
If you can keep a cool head and just play and pick your defensive options, then that's all you need.
So that we might see a similar thing here with Ku's own aggression going up against him. The thing that I'm curious about is whether Twin5-0 has refined his own aggressive game, so that when he gets in on Ku, he can exploit, say, like the force teleports on shield and that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I'm optimistic. He made it all the way to winners finals, so I think he's probably gonna put up a really tough fight. Both of these guys are, I reckon. And Twin5-0, Lola also, like, fantastic air movement, being able to shield and super dash in all sorts of situations. I think we're gonna see a very mobile game between these two guys. I expect to see a big wide open stage, because I don't think any of them really get that much benefit off of cornering each other. At least that's not their main game plan, you know.
One thing you'll see is that Twin5-0, when he started on stages, sometimes he would pick the pillar stages, and then what he's able to do is that as Lollipop stand behind the pillar, his opponent's on the other side, super dash, poke, and then just like go back in or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
So you're able to see a lot of different options coming out of there with that movement option coming in, able to see aggression and defense.
We saw a bit of that with Chateau's own play, too, on Tumble Ground, right? Being able to weave between those pillars and toss out those pot shots. That's a very strong skill. And, like, what that means is, like, the round one is definitely going to be in his favor because he can do that. But one thing to look out for as you see those pillar stages is the pillars, when they're destroyed, they stay destroyed for the rest of the whole game, like, not just for that round. So you'll see people, like, deliberately mowing down the pillars and, like, taking hits for it, but it's because they're setting themselves up for a good, like, round 2, round 3 to see out the rest of the game. And it's similar with the meter management in this game, too.
Exactly. Like, with the pillars, you like you said, you'll see people deliberately destroy them, and then you'll see their opponent deliberately change their playstyle too. It's like, okay, I don't have the pillars anymore. It's just a wide open space, maybe some stairs or something. But now I got to change my playstyle to reflect this new stage, which is very interesting for ARMS, because you gotta have that adaptability, because you can change your arms, you can change the stage itself, and all that stuff. So that's really exciting to see.
Yeah, everything's always in flux in this game, and also just the speed of the neutral exchanges as well makes it feel extremely dynamic, and it's so viscerally fun to actually get your hands on and play.
Exactly.
Like, it's exciting to watch and stuff because of, like, what's at stake at every single, like, fist toss, especially because, like, that's how you build up your meter, right? And Rush is so good defensively and offensively, because that's your best way to, like, you can stop incoming arms and, like, punish them for going in a little bit too greedy, or, you can do a really sweet hit confirm with it. But the only way to build up meter in this game is by throwing punches. So the game always keeps a really fast clip no matter what.
All right, so it looks like both of our players are here on the stage, just getting ready to get things started. Of course, Twin5-0 beating Pega in the process, able to make it to winners finals. Potentially could take the whole tournament. I don't know. I've never seen this kind of matchup before, so it's anyone's game.
Uncharted territory. We have never seen Pega not in a bracket.
The closest thing is that Pega was in losers. He lost to Para at the default mode for ARMS. Not the custom version, because Pega plays pretty much default ARMS anyway. Like, that's pretty impressive on its own anyway. But still, like, he still won that tournament. He still won defaults at the end of the day at Smash and Splash.
He won, defaults and customs. Just like, I can do any game mode in this.
Exactly. So we'll see how these two do for these guys today. Twin5-0 had a couple of close calls. He was down a lot against certain players, or went to Game 3 last round with a lot of players too. Abu, in particular, today was
I love Ku. Oh my God, he's pointing out the camera. He's telling Twin5-0 to go ahead and mug it up, just have a good time.
Ku is definitely one of the
most spirited players.
Very spirited and very friendly. He does speak partial English as well, so sometimes with the TOs he helps out translate and stuff like that too. So dude, very nice guy.
I just noticed his Switch Pro controller matches his hair. It's black and green, dude. That's so nice. And Ninjara's black and green too. He's got to figure it out.
This guy's ready. He has become one with his character. Next thing you know, he's gonna go to Ninja College, and then he's gonna get a degree.
Climb those stairs every single day.
Enter a boxing ring to pay for his tuition. All that stuff.
Oh man. I'm looking forward to it. I want to see him ripped. I want to see him taking apart punching bags left and right.
And, of course, this is Winners Finals, so this will be best of 5. This is actually the first best of 5 set we're going to be seeing today.
Yes. Everything from this point on is going to be best of 5. So,
yes, exactly.
I imagine that is a nice sigh of relief, a breath of release for the Japanese players especially, because they normally don't ever do this.
Yeah.
Except on U.S. majors.
Yeah, it's like, dang, I get two more games?
Yeah.
Like 2 whole games? Dang. Wow. I've never felt that.
What am I going to do with all this? It's like the first time you have a second monitor at home. It's like, why would I ever need all this space?
Yeah, and then you use it. It's like, oh, wow.
You start getting spoiled by it. It makes you weaker.
Alrighty. And, of course, Twin50 representing Milky Way Esports, one of the main teams for ARMS, has a lot of players, a lot of talent on that team. And I'm sure they're loud and proud at home watching their boy making it this far in the EVO stage.
I mean, I'm betting the whole American ARMS community is so excited to see Twin50 make it all the way here to Winners Finals, putting himself in such a strong position. Guaranteed top 3, and then maybe even more. But it's going to start right here, right now. Lollipop versus Ninjara once again on the beach town.
All right, looks like we're okay. This is Twin50's pretty much his regular loadout, Biffler and the Ice Dragon. He's able to pressure a lot with the Biffler and then follow up with the Ice Dragon, which you can see already starting off. And then, ooh, that hit confirm into the grab, able to get so much damage. And Ku not really getting anything started so far.
Yeah, you were telling me about how Twin50 is so defensive, but I see him just laying on the pain right now. I think he's just really doing a good job taking advantage of Ninjara's weakness when it comes to dealing what he dishes out.
And you'll see he'll go into that shield mode and then super dash, either super dash away, want to get some space, or super dash in, try to close in and get a grab or something. Going to be finally on the knockdown here, loses about a quarter of his life, and that is one weakness you might see from Lollipop, is that they want to be able to move quickly, so then you'll see them shield, and then you'll be able to call that out on Wake Up and get that grab instead.
Because that's such a strong position because of that super dash.
You do have to be careful on your timing, though. If you're able to super dash and you're nowhere near, then you can potentially lose yourself and get grabbed onto yourself
Can we talk about that Ku just made this full comeback without being scratched from like full health to now on the verge of death? Ku only needing one more pixel to take out the first round against Twin50.
All right, just being very careful. Tries to get out of the corner. Oh my gosh, it just knocks down both arms, actually. The nade is able to knock down the Ice Dragon before it can shoot out a laser. Gets a knockdown with the Biffler.
Both characters on even amount of meter, about halfway through. Just one more good hit from either of them. Biffler's not going to do the trick. It's too light for it.
And we got 13 seconds left on the clock. Oh, but the Ice Dragon just catches him on the dash and is able to take round 1 with just a sliver of health left.
So nicely done. Twin50 barely holding it together because that looked really slippery for Ku at a moment there. And that's scary, just how fast he was able to figure out what he was doing wrong mid-round and pick it up from there to make that comeback.
All right, blinded by the Biffler on knockdown, though, so won't be able to receive any punish after that. Ooh, gets another one, though, and the Ice Dragon's following up, and just what I'm talking about, he's able to follow with Biffler and then just track his motion with the Ice Dragon. Because what you can do with the Ice Dragon is either have a straightaway laser to be able to track where they are, or you can sweep. And that's able to catch a lot of defensive options.
So he's provoking defensive options, then punishing right afterwards. We're seeing a similar start right now for Twin50 too. The initial lead, but then Ku finds his first hit, and then is it going to happen again? Is he going to start bringing it back from this one momentum?
And you can see, knocks down the arm. Is able to get 325 damage. These two arms are so good at following up with each other. The Biffler is able to put you in the air, and then Ice Dragon will just launch a large amount of energy and almost guaranteed 300 damage every time.
And Biffler does the trick right there. Twin50 taking the first game against Ku, putting down his headphones, thinking carefully about what to do. And is this... Oh, this is translating, I assume, right?
Yes, just talking about what stage they want to ban and what stage we want to go to. With ARMS, you get 2 extra counter picks. You get Via Dulce, or at least, well, the stage lists are pretty different depending on the major you go to. But for here, it's Scrapyard and Via Dulce that you get added onto the counter pick stages. So you're able to ban 2 stages, and then even when Ku's losing, he's still having a good time.
Yeah, and those 2 stages actually offer a lot, with Via Dulce essentially being a hallway made out of corners, and then the Scrapyard being so vertical and the movement possibilities. I don't know whether or not those have anything that Ku is looking for particularly right now as his counter pick. I mean, it looked like it took him a little bit moments to get a feel for Twin50's like tempo for each particular round. And when he did, like, it started looking a little bit better, but he took so much damage every single time that it only took a few more punches for Twin50 to then clear it out. So then At this point, Twin50 needs to just stay as clutch as he's been doing, make sure he can just keep closing out, keep finishing his plate. And you see him actually getting his calm right now, too, recognizing that.
All right, this is what I'm talking about. So here's a pillar stage, so you might see him, you know, peekabooing left and right out of those pillars and trying to get a punish in here and there. Behind the pillar right now, decides to go in immediately and goes for the dash into a punch, but is not able to find anything.
Yeah, the nice thing is you can see him poking out the Ice Dragon as he's moving from pillar to pillar, and the Ice Dragon's head stays out there, so you can keep shooting as you're hiding behind the pillar.
Hide behind the pillar again, tries to go for the grab, but Ku is just able to dash right out of there. We're seeing a little bit of a weakness with the Birdchuck here and there. It's just that it does have a little bit of startup, has to spin first before it launches out, and then Twin50 with his Biffler is so quick, is able to get a poke in before the Birdchuck even comes out.
A lot of patience by these guys. Very careful arms tossing out. The rush being used up, and Ku dodging every single blow and finding his grab right afterwards. That's so big.
Ninjara is definitely one of the best characters at being able to avoid rush like that, because he disappears and able to get a punish afterwards. Sometimes when rush whips, you don't really want to deal with it. You just want to hold block, but for a character like Ninjara, it's easy pickings for him.
Yeah, he can just keep flanking as hard as possible, and we see him right now in such a good situation because even though the health is even, again, he's the one with rush, so if he can find this punish, he's sitting on a very strong position.
That grab from full range was so brave from Twin50, because if he missed, then he was going to eat a full rush just like right now, but he's actually going to be able to get the guard up just in time, get a little bit of a break here, just going to get the nade instead.
Yeah, when you break somebody's shield, one of their arms just goes defective, and you can just have at them because they're unable to block at all, but right now, we have Twin50 with just a little bit of health. He's going to find an opening on Ku. Both of these guys just a couple of bops away, the counter to going down to 0, and who took the round? It's Lola, it's Twin50.
Twin50 barely. I'm sure it was just by about 5 health or something.
Yeah, that was so close.
Yeah, the one grab he needed. He was at an advantage too because he had rush, so Ku wasn't in a position to be able to get chip damage or anything to try and take the round instead.
And what makes this so crazy is now he's entering the next round with his rush ready to go, so he's in a very strong position in this initial neutral. Unless Ku can shoot out enough arms to get his own rush meter up, he's got to play so carefully.
And we're seeing also the Biffler is pretty accurate and is able to hit his opponents if you get the right read. It is very tall, so he's able to catch jumps as well. So you're seeing that coming out from Twin50, just the accuracy is able to knock down Ku and continue his aggression.
Oh, and here we go. There's the rush punish, and he finds himself a solid 330 damage. Ku himself, he has to find an answer, but he's down to his last 25% health. This is where we've been seeing Ku start clutching things out, but it's never been quite enough.
Oh, able to get his own rush there. They'll knock down 320 damage to the rush, especially with the nade, is able to do a lot of damage there.
We have Twin50, though, still over half of his health. He just needs one more good hit, and he can take game 2.
Alrighty, just, oh wow, the Birdchuck actually able to knock down all of the pieces of the Biffler.
This defensive movement, it's so nice by Twin50. So erratic, but he gets frozen, uses the rush to break through that as a last mean of defense. He wants to keep this round going, but if he doesn't get it together, man, he just blew his rush and has to go into game 3 without it.
Yep, and he pretty much brought himself down, but he's able to get that hit in, and he's able to take game 2. Twin50, he's looking unstoppable right now.
On the verge of finding himself in grand finals. This is so cute. Is an American going to win EVO?
for once.
For ARMS, is an American going... this is insane. But Twin50 is absolutely earning every single one of these games. His movement, like you said, has been so good, so unpredictable with his super dashes and just his normal dashes as well. Just so nice.
You can see Ku there, he just took some time to meditate, think about his decision. I feel like he's either switching his arms or his character. I'm not 100% sure. He did take a little bit of time. But we'll see. We're going back to Buster Beach where we played on game 1. We'll see if there's anything different going into this next match.
It looks like he has this... Oh, he's going double tri-blast. No, he's not. Okay. For a moment, it looked like he was.
Okay, Nate and Birdchuck still. So both of these two staying true to their arms and their strategies here. Alrighty. A little bit of a more patient and defensive play this time around. A little bit slower for the beginning, but Ku actually able to get a knockdown. Tried to go for the grab, but he's able to dash out of there first.
Being very deliberate with his dashing right now. We're seeing a lot less fists thrown out by him compared to Twin50 because he wants to make sure every one of his punches count. He finds the grab. It is paying off so far. This is the first time we've seen Ku start out with a lead in any of these rounds.
Yeah, Ku, it looks like he's changing up his strategy a little bit. He's trying to close out the space between the two of them and trying to apply pressure as much as possible just to make sure that Twin 5-0 doesn't really have much time to think about it. And you can see it's working a lot right now. Pretty much a reverse of the first 2 games where Twin 5-0 had a really large lead.
I think he's catching wind of Twin 5-0's rhythm, right? Where he understands where those air dashes are coming, and he's tossing out grabs to catch the landing right afterwards, because that is a block. Oh, the rush doesn't come out, though. So Ku's able to actually only take half damage from that.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. The Biffler didn't send into knockdown, and then the Dragon wasn't able to follow up after that, so he's able to get shield up. And he follows up with a rush of his own. That's pretty much round 1 for going to Ku.
Looking so dominant suddenly, over half of his health left over, considering how every other round before it happened. I think he just had to take that breath, had to recognize what was happening, got to swing less, make every single punch count, and not worry too much.
All right, and you see a new movement option that Twin 5-0 is pulling out now that he needs to mix up a bit more. When you jump and then you hold dash, you pretty much go into block, and then you turn into the balloon form, where you're able to still continuously move, and just adds a new arsenal to your kick on how you land.
Yeah, I mean, you got to start pulling out these tricks, especially when it looks like Ku. It took him 2 games, but he really figured out Twin 5-0's old tricks right there. Twin 5-0's actually using that dash very, very sparingly, too. He wants to make sure that Ku doesn't feel as confident about going for these grabs as he was in the previous round.
Right. All right, this time Ku just dodging, bobbing, and weaving, trying to get in on the space again. Just one Biffler hit is all he's going to be able to get. And you saw he's not throwing out those other rush hits because he knows that he's just going to get whiff punish and get grabbed immediately. Yeah,
he wants to make sure he's able to be defended. But in the meantime, though, Ku's going to find that grab, and he still does have his rush ready to go. If he finds his opening, we've seen him getting a solid 300% and 300 damage every time, and this is going to be one of those times.
Oh, that was a little risque, throwing out both arms at the same time. He had rush, and he had the range to be able to pull out that rush, and oof, just another knockdown. And Twin 5-0 looking a little bit rough. This game probably is going to be able to go to Ku if he can keep up this momentum.
This is looking very tough for Twin 5-0 right now. And every single time that nade blows up in his face, for example, it's just like 5 chip damage adding onto it. We're seeing Twin 5-0 actually playing on the aggressive. Not able to close it out, though. Ku finds that hit he needs and takes that game.
All right. But Twin 5-0 now has 2 games to be able to counterpick, both on the stage and just try and figure out what the heck to do against Ku.
Right, because like every other fighting game, you pick your character after your other guy, so he has every possible advantage in that sense. I know, I'm pretty sure Twin 5-0 used to be a Twintel main, correct?
I don't recall. I only know that him as the best Lollipop, to be honest, so I'm not sure who he made before that. But I'm sure that when you are one of these top players, you do have a large amount of characters at your disposal. For example, I know I was talking with Hess, and apparently he said that Ku has also a really good Master Mummy. I don't know when you'll be able to use Master Mummy too much in situations where Ninjara is not better, but that's still something to consider, you know?
Yeah. I mean, if Hess is calling it a good Master Mummy, it has to be good, because his Master Mummy looked fierce when he was up against Pega, so like, the man has acquired taste then.
All right, Twin 5-0 just trying to keep himself collected a little bit. We're going back to
Temple Ground.
Yeah, looks like these two are just content with the 2 stages they've been playing on.
This is funny because this was Ku's counterpick, game 2.
And he still lost.
Twin 5-0 is like, I like that idea.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's do that again.
Alrighty, throwing out both arms. Just, just starting off with these flurries to be able to try and pressure, call out a defensive option. Well, while seeing earlier different matches with Twin 5-0, that Ice Dragon is able to do a lot of shield pressure. And so you're going to see that if he's on the verge of shield break, he's able to catch dashes a lot easier. So that's going to be something that Ku has to be careful of as well.
And Ku's trying to close that gap without committing too much on his approach. He's having a hard time really pinning down Twin 5-0's movement this game. I mean, it's been about 30 seconds, and we've seen only just now 250 damage dealt to one of the players.
Ooh, and then that's what I'm talking about. Shield dash into the grab. He's able to catch that just in time. He's able to get some damage for himself.
Slowly inching his way back in, though. Ku looking to try to keep this comeback momentum going, but it's Twin 5-0 that has the full meter ready to burn.
Yeah, that was very smart from Ku. Didn't throw out any... Oh, wow. Just threw out the grab a little bit too early, and Twin 5-0 was able to get his own first. But I like what he's doing. He's being a little bit more defensive, not throwing out his arms as much, and is trying to catch the landing or the defensive option that he throws out.
Just like this, right there, punishing that rush, getting so much value for that, because even though that was only 1 punch, right, it essentially robbed 300 damage from Twin 5-0.
Exactly. Or the pressure just coming from rush in general, where you're scared to throw out a grab, throw out both of your arms to dash or anything.
Now he's sitting in a very strong position, rush ready to go to defend himself, or if he finds the right hit confirm. Ku keeping this momentum, keeping his poise all together. 9 seconds left on the clock. Twin 5-0, yeah, being able to find that comeback is so hard. He had to stop blocking if he wanted to win that.
He went in for the shield dash, went really aggressive, and he pretty much had open arms. It's like, okay, hit me.
Yeah.
So Ku was able to take that first round. Both of them pretty close to having rush. Ku actually has his rush right now. But Twin 5-0 is not too far behind. So in the grand scheme of things, that's a little bit better for Twin 5-0 than not having rush at all and still losing the round.
We see that same play by Ku. This very calm, well-collected approaches. Just a single poke here and there from the nade, but nothing too committal. So far, though, Twin 5-0 doing a good job catching wind of this, waiting for those sparse reactions as they come, not forcing his situations. It's going to get picked up by that rush, though. Koof puts on 285 damage.
Yeah, had both of his arms out. Not much he could have done. He couldn't pull out shield in time, so he's just going to have to eat that. But he does have his own rush, so he can kind of balance out his lead that he had earlier if he's able to land it. But Ku, like we said before, he's been doing a real good job of just avoiding rushes left and right.
Just like this, though, Twin 5-0 has the rush, has the life lead, too.
Ooh, all right, so Ku opts not to try and throw out punches. A lot of times during ice mode is a big mix-up game. It's like, okay, do I try to throw out an arm to try and get the grab, or do I just hold shield and take the grab? So that moment, Twin 5-0 just risked it all and then went for the grab there. Alrighty, able to continue that, and one big grab's all he needed, and he's gonna take the next round. So we're on match point for Twin 5-0 right now.
Yeah, Twin 5-0 once again in the position to take this set. But, I mean, both these guys are the meter, like you said in the previous round, looking pretty even between these two guys. And I almost feel like Ku, halfway through that previous round, is realizing this is going to be hard to bring back. Going to focus all of my mental energy for this round 3 and make it count as my last stand, perhaps.
And you're seeing right now Twin 5-0 doing a much better job of being able to read Ku's movement and able to get those bifflers in to be able to get a decent amount of damage. If all 3 hits land, it's pretty much 120 there because each arm does about 40 each.
Did you see how Ku just so calmly walked Twin 5-0 into the corner, right? He barely threw out any punches, just slowly intimidating. He's doing it again right now, too, just very calmly sidestepping to cut off those escape routes. Twin 5-0 finds his way out with a grab, though, and he has half the health taken off of Ku. Ku, though, with rush ready to go.
Yeah, that's going to be a big comeback factor. Oh, throws out his arm, but he's able to bring out block just in time. That's a really big break for Twin 5-0, and he's able to punish that. And he's got rushed himself, too. This is all in the cards for Twin 5-0 to try and take it into Grand Finals here.
Yeah, right now he's kind of sieging up in the back, not even applying any wake-up pressure right now. He's saying, come to me, take this round. You have 34 seconds to deplenish my entire health bar, otherwise I'm going to Grand Finals.
All right, he's got rush online. Oh, he might not even need it. He's been applying so much pressure. He throws out the rush, and that's it. Twin 5-0 makes it into Grand Finals here at EVO 2018, everybody.
Oh, my goodness. Guaranteed top 2 and a buffer set to make sure you take this whole event. Twin 5-0 looking so impressive right now. And again, his recognition of that situation of, like, I have this health lead. I am this good on defense, where he has to, like, play this carefully in order to come in on me. And I have rush, and he doesn't. I'm going to just make him come at me with everything he's got, and getting the full mileage off of that decision, too. What great play from Twin 5-0.
Man, that kid's crazy. He's...
I would say he's going places, but it feels like he's already here.
He's already at the place,
at the place. There's no further place than this.
Oh, boy. Yeah, so Twin 5-0, I mean, Grand Finals, man. I got to be honest. I love Twin 5-0 to death, but I was not expecting this at EVO today. I was like, okay, he's probably going to give Pega a run for his money and then, like, you know, make it to Grand Finals anyway, but...
It'll be a nail biter, but the script demands that this happens.
Yeah, there's no script in ours, man. They've barely just begun writing.
Oh my goodness. That's what makes it, it's improv. That's what makes it so fun.
Yeah, exactly. Oh boy, so Twin 5-0 is going to be Grand Finals, man. So
he's going to get to catch his breath.
Yeah, Lollipop might win a major. That would be crazy.
There's a lot of firsts happening here at this EVO.
Yeah.
A lot of potential firsts riding on Twin 5-0's run. I mean, he's making believers out of all of us right now, so you can do it. Yeah, I mean, he has to handle the winner now of this next matchup, which is going to be Chateau versus Ku. Ku having to play immediately after losing that winner's finals. I assume he's going to get like a 5-minute breather or something, as is like customary for FGC. But we discussed this at the beginning of the block, right, where it's Chateau that we felt like would pose the most challenge for Twin 5-0. So if Chateau can take out Ku, this might actually turn into a really tough fight for Ku, even with that extra set.
Yeah. So
for Twin 5-0, my bad.
Yeah, but Ku was able to take out Chateau earlier today in winner's side, so maybe we're going to get the run back here, but Ku might be able to pull it out again. I mean, when both of these two played, it was definitely a very long and grueling set just because they're so good at avoiding each other's offense.
Yeah.
So it looks like a lot was happening, which there was, but not much like progress on their health bars was really going on when they were playing in bracket.
It's the harsh like attrition wars, like you were saying, like the battle of walls and stuff, where like progress isn't being made. Like there are things being gained from the exchanges, just not health, right? They're gaining
exactly.
like stage positioning, those sort of things. But then being able to leverage that into an actual life lead becomes very challenging when they're so on point about knowing what sort of aggressive options that the opponent is looking for. And the one thing I do want to point out is when they fought previously in winners, that was a best of 3. This is a best of 5.
That is very true.
I mean, Ku just got finished literally hot off of playing a very tight set where he lost. Chateau having so much momentum, finally taking out Pega himself. So in terms of player mentality, it looks like Chateau's in a pretty comfortable spot in that sense.
Yeah.
To be able to weather a huge grueling, potentially Game 5 down to the wire timeout set. So we'll have to see how it goes as they go into it.
Yeah, this will be very interesting to see, no doubt, especially because of the best of 5 change, like we said earlier.
Yeah.
Because, we'll see how it goes, because both of these two, again, like I said, were playing very defensively against each other or was just able to avoid each other's offense. So it's like if you have those extra 2 games, can you download the defense that much quicker?
And then do the counter download, too.
Exactly.
Yeah, things are going to get really tough. I mean, we saw Chateau's movement earlier against Pega. Just being able to out-juke Pega's pressure, that is not easy at all. That is a very impressive feat. To see him being able to pull that level of defensive play, that level of crispy movement, to have that ready to go into this next set. Like, if he can keep that going, I could see him actually making it all the way to Grand Finals. But looks like they're both just still getting ready to go right now. And, of course, guys, if you're watching and you're having a ball right now, you should probably tweet out, let the people know that a deciding moment, definitive moment is happening for ARMS right now, something that we've never seen before at a major when the Japanese have been here attending. I still can't believe it. Twin 5-0 waiting in winner side of Grands right now. We have another Detonate team kill happening, and then the winner of this has the final chance to try to take the set away. But this is really tight, man.
Yeah. Of course, if you're watching at home and you're just getting interested in all the side games we have here available at EVO as well, if you're thinking about, this game ARMS looks really interesting, then we do have a Discord called ARMS Central. That's where all of our top players, all of our local players, everybody just goes in there. We talk about online tournaments. We talk about offline tournaments. There's a lot of potential there for you to get some kind of place in your community. ARMS definitely one of the more welcoming ones that I've experienced. As soon as I started trying to learn the game to be able to commentate it, the boys at home were very, very kind to me and helped me learn so much about the game. So quick shout out to you guys too before we start this losers finals match. To be able to ask someone about ARMS Central, you'll get a role about who you're going to main, and hopefully we'll see you there, guys.
Yeah, they'll accept you with open arms.
We've done this before.
Not on EVO.
All right. You can check that off your bucket list.
Yeah, got it.
The open arms pun on the EVO stage. Alrighty. He's a Helix main for you guys don't know.
I see. Hey, Gore Magala is a hero, and I'd look to him for strength in times like these.
Alrighty. Here we go. It's going to Ninjara against Dr. Coil.
Going to Mausoleum.
Oh, wow.
As the open stage. So they just want as much space as possible. And I feel like this is actually very nice for Coil, especially if that center trampoline ends up being destroyed between these two guys, because then she can just fly over there without commitment. Meanwhile, Ninjara has a whole patch of land that he can never touch.
Yep. If you are able to get the throw in the right positioning, you can destroy that ring in the center, and you get a little trampoline there. And sometimes, depending on the character, it'll be able to use that to your advantage. Coil can't really use the trampoline, but Ninjara can jump around, dash, teleport. He might be able to throw in a few new options in there.
Rio, though, the fantastic move from Chateau coming out on display again. Same for Ku, though. Very slightly for him, but it is Chateau that does have the initial rush, and he's being interrupted, though, by the throw by Ku. Ku wants to head back right into Twin 5-0 as soon as possible.
Yep. He wants that run back, man, but he's just going in, throwing in the flurry of arms. We got the Tri-Blast and the Roaster. The Roaster has a little bit of a better tracking than the Toaster, I believe, and so you're able to try and track down this kind of character like Coil, who's always just flying around here and there.
Yeah, so much pressure being laid on, and just like that, the gap is gone. These guys are dead even right now. So much careful movement.
And of course, we got the Hydra as well. Fire property arm is able to put a character like Ninjara into knockdown and try and get a little bit of punish there. A very easy arm to aim as well, so something that I'd be able to consider and put them in the corner.
Right now, both of these guys, they respect the fact that the other one has their full rush ready to go. So we're seeing such careful deployment of their own arms. There we go, though, the hit confirmed coming out from Chateau, and he finds the round win off of that rush combo.
Stun has just enough where if you're close enough to your opponent, then you will be able to hit confirm into that. So very good stuff coming from Chateau there to be able to pull that out, despite the fear of rush that both of these players were exuding on each other.
Just the reactions to recognize, I got this hit, I can go for it now and take this first round. And just like that, even though he started the round with no rush, his fists per second, so to speak, right, is so high that Chateau is able to build up his rush really fast, so it doesn't make that much of a difference.
That's one of the big strengths about Coil. It's very similar to Tower Mode Helix, where you're able to dodge things and continuously throw out arms and not have to worry, and then you'll be able to build your meter very quickly.
Now we see Ku going for that Tri-Blast this whole game, trying to pin down that horizontal movement that Chateau has, and it's been so challenging even with the spread that light arm gives him.
Yeah, and it looks like so far the Chateau is almost overlapping in your rush meter, and Ku has barely able to get his own rush so far. And so right now, it looks like probably Chateau will be able to take the next game, but I mean, this is ARMS, so anything can happen here, folks.
I mean, we've seen some of Ku's comebacks already. When this guy finds momentum, man, he can take it all the way to the bank. He finds himself his first grab, just waits for the wake-up option, is able to find anything afterwards, though. Just have himself full rush, though.
You see the cautionary sign come up on his arm. That means that if it takes a couple more hits, then it is in danger of potentially breaking. But so far, he's got his rush back online. There's about 20 seconds left on the clock, so he's got to make something happen. Otherwise, Chateau's probably going to be content to try and get a timeout here.
It looks like that's exactly what he's playing for. He's using his own rush as intimidation and insurance right now, being able to block through all that chip damage, and just like that, he holds back. Is he going to get away? 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Can he find that last hit of damage? No, that's going to be Chateau.
Oh man, that one last clip with the Fun Chuck, because that's all he needed to be able to solidify his win there. And I love that rush he pulled out immediately. He pulled out the arm and then knew that he was going to get punished if he did not get his arms back immediately to hold block. So he pulled out the rush, he immediately retracts his arms, and he's able to go on the defensive. You don't see that too often. So to be able to pull out that option when he needed to was extremely crucial for him.
Yeah. And it was also really impressive to see Ku recognize that immediately. The moment it happened, he just held back and was like, okay, we're back to neutral now. I have to find my opening. And he just tried to make that call out. But again, he was in the situation where he had to make the reads.
Exactly.
And Chateau played smart. He played in a way to make that as hard as possible and just leveraged his lead from there. Taking that first game pretty solidly.
Ku just taking some time to meditate, think about how that whole match went down, honestly, because it was very down to the wire there at the last second.
Yeah. It definitely looked like he was getting more comfortable in terms of tracing Chateau's movement compared to the first game, where Chateau took it rather comfortably. But we'll have to see whether that can still apply here on this counter pick, which is going to be Temple Ground once again, looking to take advantage of this more horizontal space. Not as big wide open as Mausoleum is, too. There's actually corners here. It's not a circle, so he can hopefully box Chateau in and get a little bit more damage happening that way.
And again, we're seeing the same game plan, just continuously throwing out that flurry of arms, and you see the Fun Shock is just a continuous hitbox, just able to knock down the Tri-Blast and things like that. So it's really difficult for Ku to really get anything started so far.
At the same time, though, Ku does have his own roaster as well, so he can also deal with the Hydra from Chateau. It's just a matter of how these two guys decide to utilize their mid-strength arm.
Exactly. All right, so just playing around the pillar, just, oh, wow, just that dashes right in front of it, and he's able to get a quick hit right there with the Tri-Blast.
Everything down so easily with the Tri-Blast. The second hit coming out so good because you see Chateau trying to dash through the shield and being caught over and over again by the explosion right afterwards.
And again, the Tri-Blast able to put him down on knockdown. Ooh, and this time actually catches the defensive option, is able to get that grab. Will he be able to find it again? He does not. Just calls out Chateau, trying to think, okay, you're going to go do the same dash again.
Yeah. Chateau knowing to mix it up at just the right moment. But look at the lead that Ku is finding himself in right now. Almost a 500 health difference between these two guys.
All right, trying to go in. Oh, I like that. The shield parry, able to get that grab immediately. Just catches him going in shield a little bit. Oh, and again, the shield pressure and just able to get that grab right when he needed it.
Ku's like kind of turtling up. He's trying to leverage this lead into a sure thing. And Chateau's taking advantage of it, though. He's calling out the fear.
The knockdown. We're going to potentially see a timeout. Ooh, he's
6
got rush.
seconds.
Is he going to try to pull it out? Yes,
4
he will.
seconds, and he catches him!
He catches him.
3 seconds on the clock. 1 pixel left, and Ku falls to Chateau's composure. Wow.
I thought this man was about to hold shield and just dash away when he saw the grab coming out. But he just threw out that rush, and Ku just cracked down under the pressure for that timeout.
And that's such a gutsy play, too, because ordinarily, again, with meter management, going into the next round if you lose, but starting the next round with meter is normally so strong and saying, I am willing to gamble that meter on taking this game right now, on this first round.
Exactly. So, great start from Chateau to be able to clutch out that win on round 1. So, and he's almost got rush again, too. So, all of that risk from losing his rush is completely negated here. But he's finally going to get hit by that Tri-Blast, going to put on knockdown. And again, the Roaster, just a flurry of arms coming in. And so he's going to be able to put in knockdown and get some damage on.
Ku's reads on Chateau's wake-ups are getting so impressive because these are all reads, but he's been throwing out his arm again and again in just the right direction.
Yeah, that Tri-Blast, I mean, it covers such a wide range, like you said, so sometimes even with the defensive option, he's able to catch him, and again, puts him down. Ooh, and barely misses the grab, jumps over it, but he's not able to get his own grab either.
And just like that, forcing Chateau into that corner, we have an even bigger lead for Ku this time. He's got nearly full health against nothing on Chateau's end.
I'll try to call out the dash there. We're going to get knocked down by the Hydra once more. And just bobbing and weaving, just avoiding all these arms, and finally able to get the Tri-Blast in there to be able to solidify his round.
And Ku looking so good that round. Like, if every... This might just go immediately Ku sweep if he plays like that this every other time. Like, that was dominant.
This is the final round of Game 2, though, so we're going to have to see if Chateau will have his own adaptations and try and bring this up to a 2-0 lead, excuse me. Ooh, wow.
We're already seeing the adaptation right now. Chateau is the one closing the gap right now. He's going in hard on Ku, as hard as possible. He's going to be called out for it with the rush, though. Ku finding his own counterattack, putting himself back on even health.
Yep, trying to throw out that rush there, and Ku was able to just dodge right through it and punish with his own rush. Sometimes the best thing that you can do as a Ninja to try and get that punish in.
Yeah, honestly, what has impressed me so much about Ku is how good he is at counter-rushing compared to everybody else in this top 4. And, like, these are all fantastic players, too.
Alrighty, let's see what he goes for. He tries to catch the dash and tries to get the grab right immediately after.
Yeah, isn't able to call out the correct direction. He's still looking pretty even on percent, and he's still finding his little hits here and there, too. Happy little punishes, but he's... Wow, the explosion beating out the rush attempt by Chateau. That is huge for Ku.
Yeah, and now he's going to be able to maintain this lead and potentially get the KO, but he's got a lot of shield damage on him. You see the cautionary sign. Again, this might be it, but gets another grab and pretty much one rush, and that's all he's going to need to take this next game.
Yeah, it kind of has Chateau looking a little bit nervous. We're not seeing that same airborne movement we saw earlier, that same confidence coming out from Chateau.
He's able to get that grab. What's he going to do? Throws out both of those arms. One ability we forgot to mention is that when you have charged arms, it's random, but you do get an arm that turns into 3, so then you're able to apply a little bit more damage and pressure.
Yeah, and that just helps that little extra bit. But Ku right now, 5 seconds left on the clock. Again, a strong lead. That rush is going to do a bunch of damage, but he's still going to have slightly more health. And that's going to be it, actually. Ku takes that second game, 1-1 apiece.
Whew, just barely. Just barely. He even got the rush, too, which I was surprised about. I thought he was just going to hold shield the whole time, but he dashed into it and then just got caught again by the rush.
Yeah, but the rush ended and not enough damage was dealt, and just before the wake-up could finish, time.
Yeah. You look at Chateau, he's just like, oh, God, are you kidding me? Okay, let's get this next match underway.
The amount of pressure that these two guys are feeling every single game loss, like, you can feel it. Like, they came all the way here, all the way to Vegas to play ARMS, and, like, they're in the position now to take this event. Pega has been dealt with. You know, only 2 other people left on the field, but this is it, though. They only have, if they lose 2 more games, they're flying home.
Yeah. Hey, man, if you're flying 16 hours to play ARMS, then you better bet that these guys are going to give out there all of their heart, especially when the usual favorite to win the tournaments is out. So
yeah,
any one of these guys could potentially win, which is crazy to think about as well.
And you see them both getting themselves a little bit calm. Chateau looks like he's evened out his breathing, figured out what he wants to do in this next game.
All right, here we go. Going to Buster Beach this time around. And keeping the same arms looks like all around for these two guys.
Yeah. Oh, we're actually going to a different loadout, though, for Coil.
Yeah, we got the, looks like we got the Hydra and the, Chakram actually. So going back to the stun option we saw earlier where you can stun and into a hit confirm into a rush.
And I like the use of Chakram too because it comes at that swooping angle, so he's going to be able to deal with Ku's like side-to-side teleports a lot easier. He's going to be able to cover that entire high arc.
The issue with the tracking arms like the Chakram and the Ram or the Slap-O-Mander and Slam-O-Mander is that when you throw out the arm in this curving motion, when it tracks at the last position you're in, so you can easily move front and backwards. But that's a big mind game too because you do have that other arm that can call out that defensive maneuver you go for.
Yeah. I think that's going to help him because Ku's movement was doing him so much favors in the previous round. And now look at this. So much health in favor of Chateau, just being able to deal. Look at these angles that they're coming at. You have a high and low covering triple arm, and then you have the curving threat from the side. So much to be mindful of for Chateau. I mean, for Ku.
Yep, and that Chakram just goes around, gets that hit, knocks him in the head, and that's going to be Chateau taking round 1.
Very confidently, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that no rush needed. Just good old bops on the face.
Yep. Both of these two, again, just throwing out the flurry of arms. They have rush as well, so I would be surprised if one of them tried to go for a grab because then it can immediately get broken up by their own rush.
It looks like Chateau's trying to bait it out, though. He doesn't find it, instead gets baited himself, and Ku finds his own rush. Unbelievable, falling for his own bait.
You saw it. Oh, wow, he went for his own grab there, and okay, so it just balances out the damage there, gets his own rush, and the extra 20 damage as he falls down to the ground.
What goes around comes around.
Yeah, I thought that was a really interesting interaction. They both were holding shields like, are you going to do it? Are you going to do it? Okay, I guess I'm going to do it. And then he threw out his rush, and then he fell right there.
Oh, just punching right through that grab. That is the one thing. Grab is a mid-range option in this game. You can't do it that far away.
Yep. Already continuously throwing out their arms. Ooh, gets the bird chuck in. Able to get that freeze damage. Just playing around this little platform here. And Ku's just trying to be able to maintain this defense long enough to be able to find an opening.
Yeah, and Ku's playing so cautiously right now, and he's going to eat that rush for it. And that's going to be it. Chateau's going to take that third game. But one thing I noticed is that, like, Ku was dodging out of the way, sidestepping some of these, like, normal punches, and then did nothing. He didn't toss out a punch. He didn't rush. He didn't grab. He just stood there. And it looked like he was just kind of hesitating about what his aggression was. And I don't know what Chateau's trying to think about right now.
What if he's talking like mad smack and he's just like, yo, was it that easy? I just had to do that? And then Ku's just like looking at him. That would be the most BM thing in the world. But
Ku's got those headphones. He wouldn't be able to know.
Yeah. So we'll see. But yeah, Chateau looks like he's either he's got it all figured out and he's perplexed about it, or he does not know what he did wrong. Or he doesn't know what he did right, and he's going into game. He's going into game 4.
The accidental download happening in losers finals. Oh no!
Like, dang, what did I do? I love the Japanese players though. They're very emotional and they're very expressive. So it's funny to see like when they do stuff like that. It gives a lot more personality and flavor in the community.
And these guys have already chosen it. We're going back to Ku's favorite stage, back to Temple Ground. I can't blame him. I love the soundtrack here. You could just bop to it forever after like 20 seconds.
Yep, and then Misango has to clean up the pillars afterwards because these guys just keep destroying everything. All right, here we go, though. Throwing out the 2 fun chucks at you. That's pretty scary, and then he's able to get that stun damage there.
Yeah, we have the fun chuck as opposed to the earlier arm because it looks like he needs more straightforward arcs when dealing with these pillars. He doesn't want to just constantly bump into them.
I believe with the fun chuck specifically is like if you're in the air, then it does a curving motion, and then if you're on the ground, it does straight away. It's opposite of the bird chuck. I might have those mixed up, so I apologize in advance. But
I do know that Coil, when she's in the air, like her arms act as if she's grounded.
Okay. Alrighty, here we go though. Able to get that. Oh,
Again! Oh my goodness! Ku's still surviving that situation and coming out on top.
Oh man, that was just one big game of chicken coming from both of them. That was crazy.
Chateau was like, okay, this time he's gonna grab, so I'm gonna go ahead and rush and deal with it at point blank.
And it was like, nope, I'm gonna dash away and I'm gonna grab you. Ooh, able to get that grab, call out that shield dash.
Chateau looking for it again. He does have this slight lead, but these leads are getting so hard to maintain between these two players.
Alright, just able to break that grab, able to get a little bit more damage. Actually, both of these players have Rush online now, so that's going to be some fear factor going in. But Chateau looking a little bit more dominant so far in this first round.
Just like that, being able to... I like the use of the Hydra, too, where he can be above Ku, but still be able to threaten his head because it has so much vertical reach.
Oh man, what a brave full range grab that Chateau just threw out there.
This
Oh,
health,
brave
and
grab!
he finds it! You need
Ku
to be
as well.
brave. If you're going to be able to take this game.
All right, just goes for it. Oh, yep, and just he uses his rush to be able to go on the defensive, and he's going to take that round.
Yeah, the rush was specifically to break the grab, it looks like, because he wasn't sure what was being thrown at him, maybe, and he just broke the grab. He was like, okay, now I have enough time on the clock that even if you throw me, you won't be able to DPS me fast enough. So I'm just going to block.
Alrighty, so again, the coil being a little bit hard to try and attack right now. Ku's just continuously on the offensive here. Ooh, able to get that rush, and 355 damage. That explosion does so much when he's at the end of the rush.
And not only that, the positioning for Ku is so nice right now. He has Chateau box into that corner again. This is where he needs to keep him if he wants to keep finding neutral wins.
Yep. But Chateau looks like that he does have rush on right. Oh, wow. That grab was just from so far away. It looked like Ku tried to throw out an arm right at the last second there, but wasn't able to break that grab.
Oh, still not coming together. Ku being able to see through all of these shield shenanigans.
Yep, wasn't able to find the grab that time. Thought that he was going to dash away or something, but Chateau just going to waste that rush again. These shield mind games, Ku has always been one step ahead every time.
It's his pressure game coming out. He understands what the opponent is thinking when they're looking to a defensive option like that. Oh, it's just like that. That dodge, but he's not going to be able to find a full punish with the rush. A lot of chip damage, though.
Tried to shield parry and get that damage in, but was not able to find it. Oh, and that grab just barely able to whiff. Just stayed on top of Mausoleum, and that slant looked like it kind of messed up the trajectory of the arm there.
Chateau on his last limb, and this is just round 2. He still needs to take another round if he's going to take this game.
He might try to preserve that rush or put himself in position. Never mind. I was going to say maybe put himself in a position where he can use the rush to just get the KO and win. But that time, Ku was able to keep his head calm and get that stray hit that he needed to be able to move on to round 3.
Ku being able to even that up right now. Chateau taking some time thinking about his loadout. There's going to be both of them rocking their normal stuff.
Oh, just immediately goes for it. That time is able to catch the dash, and 315 damage, actually.
That's the thing with mix-ups, man. Like even a broken clock is right, you know, and this is a top player, so he's going to be right even more often.
Yeah. All right, let's see what Ku tries to do on the knockdown. Continuously throwing out those tri-blasts, trying to catch the horizontal movement from Coil. Both of them going to trade hits there. And it looks like Ku has got his rush online too, so let's see if he can try and break it. Try to immediately retract the arms, noticing that both of their grabs boxed out there, but not enough time, and Chateau was able to continue on and be able to get guard up in time.
Yeah, but Ku being able to get through that entire rush himself, not much damage taken, still behind by a solid about 200 health, 50 seconds left on the clock, and I can see what you mean about this being a war of attrition between these two players, just constantly every one of these games going to game 3.
Yeah, and like I said, the defensive play, both of these two just know how they're trying to read each other, and so Ku hasn't been hit for a good 15 seconds or so. Same with Chateau. Going to pull out the rush again.
Not going to be able to punish that. Just a straight hit on his shield, and Chateau just kind of had to respect it.
All right, Ku just dashing here and there, trying to get some something going, and finally able to get that grab. That was really big, able to catch that. Both of his arms were out, and so he was going to be able to get that grab.
Just like that, down to the last 10 seconds, we have Ku in a fantastic position, rush ready to go. So much life, and he's not even going to need to spend any of it. He finds that last hit with the tri-blast, tosses a peace sign up to the camera, and goes to game 5 now against Chateau.
Was that the peace sign? It looked like the finger guns, man. It's like bang, bang.
Oh, was that the finger guns?
Yeah,
I wasn't sure.
I thought that was his thing. All right, game 5. So that's what I'm talking about. So it went to game 3 when they played the best of 3, so it's going game 5, best of 5. Go figure. These two are just continuously downloading each other and trying to figure out what's the best way to continue their aggression. And so these two just...
Would you expect anything less from teammates, though? You know,
nope.
like
yep, they're at the end here.
They go to every single event together. I'm sure they've done so many sparring sets with each other. You know, between major events. So it only stands to reason that they know so much about how each other plays, and that's the reason we get such intricate exchanges like we've been seeing, especially those shield shenanigans they were getting, those shield mix-ups. What on earth?
Yep. It's like, are you going to do it? I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it right now. No, just kidding. I'm going to do it now. And Ku was just like, nope, I'm just going to wait until you pull it out, and I'm going to react to it.
Just like those are the plays of like you only do that when you feel like you really know the other person, right?
Exactly.
You don't bring that out round one fresh. Like, you know? That's not for queuing. That's not for online. That's not for ranked ladder. That's for your teammate that you go to everything with.
All right, looks like these two are just about ready to get started on our next match. Looks like what these... Oh, actually, these two just got to put on their headphones and everything. But, man, Game 5 going here into the losers finals. The winner will be able to go back, get their run back against Twin 5-0, who actually took out both of these two. Oh, wait, no.
No.
Twin
Twin 5-0 beat, Pega.
Pega and Ku. And Chateau will get his fresh attempt at Twin 5-0 if he wins.
If Chateau makes it through, he gets the chance to avenge both of his Detonate brothers. And Ku gets his run back. So both of these guys are looking for some blood.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to see how this Game 5 turns out. Maybe they'll completely change their playstyles. Maybe they'll just go the same route and just hope for the best when they're trying to outplay each other. We'll see how it goes down here, folks. But if you are just tuning in, welcome to EVO 7, where we're playing our side games here at EVO 2018. We are here playing ARMS today, actually.
Yeah.
One of the last games of the night, and it's been quite a wild ride so far. Wouldn't you say so, GPEG?
Absolutely nuts, absolutely bonkers. Every prediction, I'm sure, thrown out the window completely. Because like, people will be like, yeah, you know, we can see these people putting up a fight against Pega, but he's making it to Grands at least. But instead, being taken out at 4th place, the EVO Japan champion. And just being taken out by Twin 5-0, the lone American waiting in grand finals against a fight, the winner of these two Japanese teammates. It's been a crazy thing, and the thing is, it's just going to get crazier. The moment grand finals happens, man, all bets are off. Everything's going to go completely wild, but it's all going to depend on how this Game 5 turns out between Ku and Chateau, and it's going to be on the boxing ring.
Yeah, these two finally having a change of scenery here. Not just going back between Temple Grounds and Buster Beach. Wow.
This is actually a scary stage. This is a very small stage. One of the smallest, if not the smallest, ARMS level. So these guys are actually limiting each other's movement significantly, just trying to leverage how good they are at just like the blunt rock, paper, scissors and their pressure game in the corner.
Yep. Alrighty, here we go. So far, Chateau starting off real nice, able to get about 250 damage for his stray hits here and there, but Ku trying to answer back so far.
We have that Chakram coming out to play again as well for Chateau. We saw this in Buster Beach, and it served him so well in pinning down Ku. Question is, can it work again? And so far, you know, Ku's walking away with the beginning lead.
Yeah, I like that mix-up he did there. He was doing dash, throw out arm, dash, throw out arm, and then he decided to do empty dashes, caught him in shield, and is able to get that grab. Very smart. Oh, and he just dropped shield. Oh, wow. He
catches the second half, catches a solid 335. Never mind.
Yeah, dashes right back into the rush. That was unfortunate for Ku. He was able to get out of there, but I don't think he was expecting Chateau to be able to do the straight rush right at him.
So what I think happened is previously Chateau has been angling himself following Ku's movement, and Ku was trying to juke him by heading back in the same direction, but Chateau didn't change, and that's what ended up working. But Ku's going to be able to take that first round right there.
Pretty convincing fashion, too. So we're on match point here, everybody. So Ku just needs one more, so Chateau's got to figure out something, because that was a pretty convincing game coming from Ku.
Yeah, I'm so interested that we saw this as his counterpick as opposed to Buster Beach again.
Yeah.
But it looks like he just really wants to be able to limit Ku as much as possible and force him in uncomfortable situations, but it looks like it's just playing into Ku's favor because Ku also gets to limit Chateau better now, too.
Yeah. Already just tucking himself in the corner a little bit, trying to create some space, but these arms just able to get those knockdowns every time you see the cautionary signs. Maybe trying to potentially get the shield break. I'm pretty sure that's why Chateau just threw out the raw rush there, but he's still able to dash around and just able to avoid that. And not able to punish on whiff, but still able to get out of there and just pretty much avoid 350 damage.
He's still finding himself a solid lead right now. Trying to find these last few hits, but it's Ku not going to be able to capitalize on that rush at all, though.
Yeah, that wasn't quite the right distance to be able to get explosion hit confirm into rush. So that was unfortunate for Ku there. So he's going to have to be able to gain his damage in other ways. And again, the shield pressure coming from Ku is just phenomenal so far against Chateau.
It's bringing it back right now. The final 250 health he needs to do in order to find his way back to grand finals. Can he do it? No, Chateau's going to put a stop to it, even up the health, and we have 26 seconds left on the clock between these guys. Plenty of time to duke it out right now. No timeout on the horizon. Oh my gosh, these dodges by Ku are incredible.
Yeah, he's just trying to find that one hit, and every single time, Chateau, you can just feel just one arm is just all it takes for him to be able to lose. And he finds the grab! And Koo not actually going to take the round quite yet. We got about 5 health left, but he's able to find it, and Koo will be moving on. Grand Finals, everybody.
Stopping Chateau from bringing it all the way back. Koo going to find himself back to challenge Twin 5-0. And Chateau is going to have to end his run at 3rd place after taking out Pega. Koo already pumped up and ready to go.
I'm sure he feels much better after that. That was quite a grueling set. That was quite a long time for him to be able to endure that. Now he's got to go right back and fight Twin 5-0, the man that sent him into the loser's bracket. So
this is going to be a grind for him because, like, even if he takes one set, he has to do it again. He has to do 3 back-to-back sets against some of the hardest opponents that ARMS has to offer.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how he's going to do it, but these top players, man, they find a way. Yeah. I mean, he has the intensity to see himself through all these plane flights over and over again, competing day in and day out, so I'm sure he can do it in terms of composure. But, I mean, the question is, has he figured out what to do against Twin 5-0? Because that looks kind of convincing for Twin 5-0 on the winner's side.
Yeah, that is going to have to be a matter of Koo's stamina because Twin 5-0 has had that time to be able to relax, watch his set against Chateau, think, okay, what's he going to do here? And so he's going to be able to download that. At the same time, though, Koo's got that momentum. He's got the momentum going into Grand Finals, so he can try and take down this beast that is Twin 5-0, then that's going to be something interesting to see here today, folks.
It's easy to, like, understate how valuable Worm hands are going into the set, but, like, coming at from the winner's perspective where you just, like, we're sitting down and watching for, like, you know, sometimes it's like 20, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, like, depending on the game, and then, like, having to fight against somebody who's been playing and like thinking about all those mind games, like, really deeply compared to you just watching, like, that is actually rough.
Yeah.
Being able to do that. So
alrighty, so we're going to allow these players to just give themselves a little bit of a breather, you know. This is Grand Final, so both of these two just got to take their breaks, you know.
Yeah.
Relax, compose themselves, meditate, do whatever they got to do. So we're going to take a quick commercial break here, everybody, but don't go anywhere. We got Grand Finals coming up real soon, everybody. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to EVO 2018. We are here at the end of the roads, man. We are here in grand finals of ARMS here at EVO 2018. And definitely not something that I was expecting today. I don't know about you, GFIC, but
I really wasn't expecting anything that has been happening right now. Like, this has been wildest detours possible. But we have Twin 5-0 waiting winner's side grand finals. Not like a lone American player just to be this far into the bracket and on winner's side is already unheard of. But then he also took out Pega on his way up here. He took out Ku as well in winners finals, playing just phenomenally well. And then we have like Pega the champion out at 4th. Ku managing to clutch it all together against Chateau to come back and have another go at taking out Twin 5-0. But man, Twin 5-0 has been looking so clean, and I don't know. Am I going to curse it by saying that I think it might happen? I think we're going to have an American winning an ARMS major.
Yeah. And I think this is also another storyline. It's just the battle between Milky Way Esports, one of the bigger ARMS teams as well, going against Detonation, you know, the powerhouses of ARMS so far in the esports teams. So this is going to be very interesting to see. Another thing interesting to note, too, is that I think a lot of people are thinking, you know what, Twin 5-0, he could probably make top 4. Like, you know, I'm thinking about it. But I know a lot of people were doubting Ku because they were saying, oh, you know, he didn't do too well at Smash and Splash. You know, he's like kind of depends on who he plays. But, you know, this man, against all odds, is able to make it here into the grand finals. We got potentially 2 sets coming at you guys, but it all depends if Twin 5-0 is just going to clean up the mess Ku made right here, or if we're going to have to continue with the war going on here.
I think it's just so assuring for especially like newer players getting involved in ARMS, or like they hear like, oh man, Coil and Max Brass are so good, you got to be maining these guys, and you hear this top 4 lineup of a Coil, a Max Brass, and then a Lollapop and a Ninjara, and it's the Lola and Ninjara that survive.
Yeah, exactly.
So at the end of the day, guys, you know, you main the character that fits your hand the best.
Yeah, and it's not even an ARMS thing either, because, for example, like a lot of people said, you know, the Tri-Blast and Nade, those are like one of the better ARMS, but, I mean, one guy's going with a Biffler and
Ice Dragon.
Ice Dragon, and another guy's going with, you know, like Tri-Blast and stuff like that, like the more standard stuff, but you see the variety coming in for these players here today. Yeah. So that's one of the beautiful things about ARMS, is that you got all these options, you got a lot of stuff going on. I remember when we first started playing ARMS in the beginning of the scene, we didn't have a tournament mode where you could unlock every ARM. Yeah. So it was a pretty much hot debate. But you know what? Nintendo said, wait a minute.
We can solve this debate for you.
Let's just add a tournament mode.
No ambiguity. This is how you're supposed to play. We'll call it tournament mode, and it has everything unlocked.
Exactly. So, yeah, but shout out to Nintendo for being so supportive of ARMS in general. You know, having these like different Grand Prix, open invitational, stuff like that, giving us updates, giving us like a bunch of like patches for the characters.
They added 5 characters for free to this game. Like, that's just so crazy to think of that level of dev love for the community that's sprung up around it. And like, I know the lead designer,
Yabuki?
Yeah, Mr. Yabuki actually watches like the monthlies that happen in Japan himself and like commentates them. So, you know, they keep a very tight finger on the pulse of the community and reaches out and does what it needs to happen. There's some fantastic balance patching happening over this. It's only been a year. It's only been a little bit over a year. Oh, my God.
Yeah, this game has grown extremely quickly, very fast. We already got a dedicated community. Like we said before, if you have not joined them yet, we can join them at ARMS Central. Be sure to just ask someone in the chat or have someone message you for the Discord link. They'll welcome you with open arms. I did the pun for you this time around.
I wasn't going to do it again. They already know that it's coming. It's not funny. But thank you. That means a lot that you're punning for me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, be sure to check them out. You may even have one in your local scene too. I mean, we got 2 players that came from St. Louis. They're very, very strong. So there might be an extremely strong scene there. SoCal Arms, of course, has themselves as well. Or you just look for a local streamer. You know, you got like people like Redengard, you got Pega. You know, they got all these big guys that love streaming ARMS and just being, you know, on the grind all the time.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely has been paying out for most of these fellas being able to come out all the way this deep into this scary of a bracket, staying that warmed up. And the great thing is, like, as they're streaming, like, I've popped into Redengard's stream, like, he's answered my questions. Yeah. You know, like, these guys are very open to anybody, any level of play. Again, I can't say it enough how fantastic this grassroots community really is.
Like, you'll talk to one of the top players, and I'll be like, hey, you want to play? And he's like, yeah, come on. It's like everyone just loves playing the game. They love the opportunity to get to to play each other in person, because ARMS is a scene that has survived a lot over their online tournament scene, because the connections are relatively stable if you play with a LAN cable and stuff like that. Even some of the Nintendo Invitationals were done online, so there's that to consider. So hope you guys are enjoying ARMS so far. If you need even more convincing to try and join the ARMS scene, you got, I don't even know how many characters, all unique mechanics, just so many great things about them, and yeah, just creative designs all around.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite G-Pick?
Oh, you already know it's Helix.
Yeah, that was more of a question so that
the
audience would know.
Well, but yeah, no, Helix and Gormagala, of course, my favorite player, just because of his very specific style of Helix play that he kind of innovated. And I remember hearing that, like, apparently some of the ARMS community was like, oh, this is just a gimmick. But it's like, it's a gimmick. Why is he the only one that can make it work? And he can make it work at this high of a level, you know?
Yeah,
there's more under the surface here. It's just like so many players, we see them coming out with their own specific technology that seems to only come together for them.
Right.
It's a very big canvas, this game. So many brushes and even more colors.
Exactly. Yeah, just the lore, everything about this game is is something that I absolutely love. Personally, I'm a big fan of Lollipop. You know, just a little clown trying to make their way in the world. You know, just lives on Candy Lane via Dulce, and just trying to figure out. Let's play some ARMS. I have these like springy thingies, so let's like get this underway. All right, so it looks like
we're actually getting underway right now too.
Yeah.
The players are up here, having taken their much-deserved rest, especially for Ku, who has been playing non-stop, because this guy went from winners finals immediately into losers finals, and then would have had to play grand finals right afterwards, but luckily we had ourselves a little bit of a break for him to catch his breath. And of course, you know, Twin50 needing to, of course, every single breath he can spare in terms of Sanctuary. It's going to go a long way with how much is riding on this next set for him.
Yep. Yeah, of course, Twin50 is on winner's side, so Ku will need to take 2 best-of-5 sets to be able to take the tournament and the bigger chunk of the $1,000 pot bonus we have today. Shoutouts to the 2 people. I don't know if you're watching or where you are or what you're doing, but there are 2 people that pretty much donated $400 and $500 alone to get this pot bonus the way it is. Whoever you are and wherever you are, shoutouts to you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you for supporting our community.
They are true heroes, man. Yeah. There's no other word for it. But, I mean, thanks to them, we're having ourselves a fantastic fight for that lion's share. And they're looking like they're putting on their headsets, getting ready to go into it right now. First thumbs up thrown by Twin50.
Yep. Ku has 2 sets of headsets. That's how ready he is.
Wait, he actually changed the headset he's using. He was using his own personal headset. He's now using the other one.
Yeah, I think it's the EVO official ones, if I recall correctly. Here we go, though. Lollipop, my favorite clown of all time, going against Ninjara. Let's see how this goes, folks.
Once again, Buster Beach is the start of this.
All right, just throwing out the Ice Dragon, just able to navigate around that. Yeah, just dodging the Ice Dragon very, very wisely. I'm waiting for Twin50 to throw out the sweeping motion of the Ice Dragon, try and catch him even on dash as well. But
he just did it.
Yeah, Ku's doing a good job, just jumped over it, very smart.
And actually dodged the same blast twice in a row.
All right, finally going to get hit by that.
Yeah, I mean, it is doing a good job of locking down options, right? Because Ku is like forced to commit to still moving out of the way of it for the entire duration. And Twin50 is fine with that. He has a slight health lead. He's got himself a little bit of extra meter, too.
Yeah. Both these two are at rush capabilities right now, so it's going to be interesting to see how this goes. That Birdchuck is doing a fantastic job of just knocking out that Biffler. It's very fast, but if it can't stand against the medium size of the Birdchuck, then it's going to be difficult to play around.
One thing I'm noticing is it's taking Ku a little bit, but he is like really slowing himself down to that tempo that he found in his winner set against Twin50, and this is where he's found a lot of success, is taking his time and being very careful about where he puts those grab calls out, but still doing them too.
All right, so Twin still has his own rush, so he's going to have to try and get this going, but this has been a relatively slow-paced match so far. Neither of these two in the 25% range, and that's unfortunate. Of course, the Ice Dragon does have a lot of startup when it goes into rush, so if you don't confirm from the Biffler, then it's going to be difficult to try and get that full flurry of damage.
We have right now already the countdown starting, 7 seconds left, and these health so close, but it is Ku with the slightest of health leads. If he can keep it together for just a couple more seconds, and he does, taking the first round and with full rush to boot.
Yep. Twin 5-0 just got a little bit desperate there at the end, wasn't able to really get anything down. So we'll see if in the second match he's going to be able to get anything started, because that was definitely a much slower paced match than before. Neither of those two really going into the red zone of their health bars.
I mean, Ku recognizes, especially after the winner set, the danger of being whiff punished by Twin 5-0 and how ready Twin 5-0 is to do it. So he's choosing his openings so carefully. I love that. Waiting for the air movement from Twin 5-0, seeing the super dash, not going straight down, and then calling it out hard with the rush.
Yeah, Biffler with its speed is one of those easier ones to be able to punish rush on whiff, but he was just able to wait for that option, just knock out the Biffler out of the way, and is able to get that damage he needed. And so Twins actually looking on the verge of losing this first game here.
I mean, we talked about before, the momentum that Ku has going into the set is quite significant, and his hands are warm, ready to go. He's going to find himself in such a strong situation, backing off right now into that corner.
Goes for the grab there, but the Biffler is not able to get it. Wow, Ku's just waiting. He didn't even go for the punish there. He's very confident that he's going to be able to take this match, I feel.
It's so dangerous, though. He had an opportunity. 1 pixel left for Twin 5-0.
All right, chip damage. Is that going to break it? Yes, it will. Just very smart awareness coming from Ku, knowing that, like, okay, if I do this at pretty much point blank, then I'm going to be able to break the arms, and I'm going to take away that sliver of health that he had left.
And Ku takes that first game. And, I mean, both those rounds were kind of, especially that second round, was very different from how we normally saw it play out on the winner's side, right? Where ordinarily it was Twin 5-0 taking those early leads, getting like 75-80% damage done to Ku with like not a scratch on him. And then we saw regularly Ku would like pull it together within each individual round, find out that one movement mix-up he has to account for, and start bringing it back. But Twin 5-0 would have built up such a huge difference in health that he could clutch it out in the end. But Ku now running away with the game lead in the beginning is a very big change of pace for these two guys. So it's just going to be a matter of whether or not Ku can keep that momentum going for 2 whole sets.
Yeah, I'm sure Twin 5-0 got a lot of information there on that first game. Because it looked like that his tactics from before weren't working as well as they were, and Ku was just on the defense just a little bit more smartly than before. So we're going to see if Twin 5-0 can maybe get some aggression in there, or, you know, just maybe even more defensive. We'll have to see how he's going to change it up. Yo, look at that game face coming from Twin 5-0 right now. He is on it. He is focused, and he's going to try and bring this back. Looks like we're going to go to Mausoleum for our next stage, actually. So there's going to be a lot of room for Lollipop to be able to move around, navigate. And if the trampoline in the center comes in, then Lollipop will be able to take advantage of that as well.
Yeah, seeing the set develop with their play styles, where Ku, we would normally see him play the aggressive, but especially after the previous sets that he's had to play here today, being so defensive, and I think we're going to be having to see a more aggressive Twin 5-0 to answer that. So these guys playing unlike themselves, but you got to do what you got to do to take grand finals at EVO.
Yep. All right, let's see what the loadout is going to be. I don't think Twin's moving from Biffler Ice Dragon at all, and so we're going to go with Nate Burchuk for Ku.
Ku's going to be back in that line, just slowly inching his way forward, tossing out a few more punches than he did previously.
Ku tried to close in a little bit, but Biffler was ready to go just to be able to hit Ku and go into knockdown.
And of course, I do like this counter pick from Twin 5-0. Like you said, so much space, and also being a circle, like there's no corner here, right? You're always going to have a very wide range of movement options available to you. It's going to help Twin 5-0 play the defensive game a little bit better, so that if he does find himself with a lead, he's going to be able to keep it a lot better.
Ooh, the explosion coming from Nade, able to do about 50 damage. That is a danger, too, is that if your arm gets hit while it is charged, it will explode in your face, and your opponent might be able to confirm into something because of that. Ooh, breaks the grab. You're able to get that rush, and continuing on to 325 damage. Twin 5-0 looking a lot better on this stage than he was on Buster Beach.
He just looks so comfortable when he has this lead, right? He can put up the wall that he's used to having. The question is, can he win in like the first 20 seconds to set this situation up?
Yeah. Able to get that grab, caught him in pressure, and was able to get that first round relatively convincingly. Ku didn't get to play the game too much that time.
Yeah. It's all, I think, between these two guys, at least on this stage, it's all in that first 10, 20 seconds. So Ku needs to think very careful about how he plays at the beginning of this round. Otherwise, he's going to be forced to try to come in on Twin 5-0 on the same level, and that didn't work out too well.
Ooh, just went in right in his face, and unfortunately the Biffler missed right there. And so Ku was able to get that rush in and just continue on that damage. Almost get half that life bar.
And we see Ku now actually being able to have the luxury of backing off, right? Every single time he doesn't feel like things are working out, he just gets to move backwards because he's the one with the full health lead.
Oh, interesting. It looked like he got hit by the nade, but the explosion didn't quite connect. Oh, okay, I see. He's blocking in the air when he's in that balloon mode, and then is able to stop the nade before he's able to do any damage.
Makes sense, makes sense. And Ku right now, his play makes a lot of sense too, just keeping in the far back reaches of the stage. Actually, working on a perfect right now too. I don't think he's been scratched yet.
Yep. Not even chip damage, it looks like, actually. So we're going to have to see if Ku will be able to get anything to solidify the next round. It looks like Twin5-0 is having a hard time really getting anything started so far.
Yeah. Ku just playing to the clock, just saying, like, this is what you just did to me in this previous round. You got the lead, and then you held back, and I'm going to see if you have an answer for it yourself.
Yeah. Having a really hard time getting things started. Like I said before, it's the Ice Dragons and the Biffler are not able to get anything, but finally catches the dash and goes in immediately. Forces him to waste his rush for round 3. So let's see if Twin5-0, that was just a strategic decision to try and get the lead here on round 3.
Yeah, trying to bait that out because, I mean, getting that early lead means so much. We saw that between both of those previous rounds. So starting off with Rush, that could be a 200 health lead right off the bat. Right now, he's looking for it, so aggressive in his face, hoping to bait out the right thing to punish, but Ku avoids the entire rush.
And just Ninjar's mobility, able to avoid those rushes so efficiently, and he has an arm like the Ice Dragon where it's difficult to able to connect unless it's a pure punish. That's so difficult for Twin5-0 to really get anything started on his rushes.
It's essentially all on the Biffler, right?
Yeah.
And Ku's right now, in the very slightest at least, we're seeing a little bit more aggression, a lot more dashes in, trying to find that one opening.
And you can see Twin5-0, he's trying to find the dash mix-ups after his shield dash where he can get either a Biffler on the left or the right. He's mixing it up really well, but Ku is mixing up his defense even better.
Yeah. I do like, too, when Ku realized that his rush hit the shield, he took some time during that rush flurry to dash backwards. He's like, I am now the defender, so I need to build up the space while I can find it.
Yeah, there we go. That's what we needed, the Biffler into the rush, and before they land, just to get an extra 20 damage. It won't be able to kill, but still, it's extra damage that you may have needed earlier, so just to get all the damage you can.
Twin5-0 hoping to find something right now, but it's actually Ku who's still looking for this aggression. Actually, Twin, yeah, has the health lead. Never mind.
Yeah, finally Twin5-0 able to get something started. Oh, he's got Rush almost online too. He's about to get hit though, so this is going to be really bad for Twin5-0, and 10 seconds left on the clock. Tries to go for the grab there, and just going to get on the knockdown. He's got Rush online though, so let's see if he can try to get something started, maybe with chip damage. Oh, he goes for the grab that time! That's such a smart decision, but I don't know if it's enough.
It's not. It's not going to be enough, and Ku is going to be able to take that second game. 2-0 to start off Grand Finals right now. Twin5-0 still does have that second set in reserve, but you don't want to be thinking like that so soon. Not in Grand Finals, not when everything's at stake. You want to get the most bang for your buck every single round.
Yeah, that was some quick math coming from Ku. It's like, you know what? Even if you grab me, I'm still going to win. That was completely smart play coming from Ku there, just to be able to solidify that timeout win. He's going to take game 2. We might be seeing the reset. This is going to be a very long arms bracket.
With the way that Ku is playing right now, I think that's pretty likely. The question is whether Twin5-0 can find that adjustment soon enough. Because right now that is the hottest seat where you had every single resource available from you, and then things start slipping, right? That's when things start getting really scary. When you have all the reasons in the world to be nervous, rather. But keeping your composure and playing as clean as possible despite everything that's happening. I mean, every single question is now for Twin5-0 to answer, because Ku's knocking.
Alrighty, it looks like we're going to Via Dulce, also known as Candy Lane. It's kind of funny when they were talking about the Japanese players.
Yeah.
I believe their translation is just directly Candy Lane, but for us it turns into French. It's like the road of candy for in French, I believe. So it was just like another layer of translation that they had to go through. But here we go, a stage with basically just corners, and I'm not talking about a square. I'm talking about a Tetris block.
Yeah, it's the L shape, not the L shape, the Z shape, the one that breaks your game eventually.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see how this goes. Whoa! What are those? that's a Tri-Blast and a Glush.
I think Twin5-0 is playing the pressure game, because that's what I was about to ask. Is like the previous counter pick was one of the widest spaces he could possibly get, no corners. This is a stage of small, tight corridors and really just nothing but corners. So Twin5-0 250 is completely flipping the script right now, essentially probing Ku for a weakness, saying, all right, you can handle open space as well. How do you do it when the pressure is on? When your teleport can get stuffed hard with these big, juicy arms.
Yeah, and why not? He's down a game, or he's down 2 games, rather, on the first set. Might as well try out this arm set, see if the loadout will be enough to be able to take out Ku, because this is definitely looks very experimental for Twin50. And I want to talk about that arm real quick. The Glush is it's a very interesting arm. It's a poison type as Misango's originally. And what you're able to do with that is that the arm will travel and bounce through, and it's a heavy arm, so we'll be able to go through a lot of stuff as well. And then eventually the poison property will allow you to get, you see right there, 1 damage overtime.
Yeah, very useful to take on, especially as these grilling sets have gone to time every single time. If you can get a nice poison on somebody, you can start profiting off that pretty nicely.
Yep. And of course, I believe... Oh, wow, that was such a great break. The explosion was able to catch that, but Twin50 getting a little bit too aggressive there and just get caught there on the dash. And so Ku was able to take that first round.
That looked pretty solid all the way through, though. Looked like Twin50, when he was caught on the back heel, when he was behind, he was able to open up Ku and actually lay on aggressive pressure as if he was a grappler, as if he was Max Brass.
Trying to go in on the aggression here, but it's not quite working. Trying to go for... Oh, yeah, that's another thing I forgot to mention. When you get the grab, it doesn't travel just straight. It kind of bounces, so it's kind of funny to see the grab come out when you have like something like Glush.
Right now we have that first Glush going to put on a little bit more of that ticking damage so that, you know, even though Twin50 is behind, he doesn't need to commit as hard to get in. It helps him make up this gap.
Yep. All right, just staying back, trying to figure out his way in. Of course, Ninjara is still excellent at avoiding these arms.
Yeah, even with this limited movement space, Ku is making it work. It's not going to be caught by Twin50. And I think that's the other reason why Twin50 changes loadout, is that the Ice Dragon on Rush was so bad, right? If he whiffed with his Biffler, he wasn't able to get any value for it. But at least with the Glush, he's able to still throw out a pretty big, considerable hitbox and not have to worry about confirming as hard.
Yeah, and at least with the Tri-Blast, it's a Flurry Rush, which means that there's multiple hits coming out every time, not just one big hit that will do multiple little hits in it. So he's able to connect it a little bit easier with the Glush.
Have right now still 27 seconds left, and Twin is looking down pretty bad right now, less than 25% of his health, and Ku is not looking to stop anytime soon.
All right, just trying to continue that aggression, able to get that explosion.
Gets himself in a nice corner situation. Can he keep it going? He finds himself another charged Glush hit. We have 8 seconds left to do. Can Twin50 get himself around? No!
He gets his own grab, but he's got 3 seconds left. Pulls out the rush. Is that enough to do it? He jumps over and it's gonna be able to allow Twin50 to take at least a round with just barely enough health to be able to get that timeout.
That had to be a difference of like 10 health between the two of them. That was nuts, and Twin50 is gonna need to keep digging that deep, because if he loses this round, it won't matter how clutch it was previously, it's gonna be a reset.
Yep. He's got that poison property to thank for that timeout, Dan. That was crazy.
Yes. I mean, that's playing to that timeout format that he's recognized right now. It's like, okay, we're going to time every single round because Ku is not committing. I need to play to that as best as I can. Right. Wow, the explosion right there. The Tri-Blast coming through, interrupting that rush.
Yep, just enough. That's the danger sometimes of playing against an explosion arm, is that you're going to have to play around the charge arm and hitting it with your own rush too. But so far, Ku barely been touched, and yeah, that's the reset.
Wow.
Wow.
The only hit was that Tri-Blast blowing up. And just like that, Ku's going to walk away with the first reset. 3-0. Very solidly done. And I don't know if Twin50 has found what his answer is going to be, because we saw him go to the far side of each spectrum. And it's just going to be tough for him to figure out where to go in between to take away this win.
Yeah, I deeply respect the change in loadout for sure.
Yeah,
it worked out for a round. But oh man, I hope Twin50 is not getting frustrated. Remember, your boys at home are rooting for you. The NWE boys, man. Alrighty. But yeah, let's see if he's gonna. I wonder if he's gonna change his loadout or just keep it the same. To be honest, but looks like these two are just about done getting their stages ready. The TO is all done.
I could see him going back to his original loadout just because the first game is going to be again on a neutral stage. And I could see him wanting to just have a more open-ended way of handling the normal playing field of like Buster Beach.
Yeah. Well, we're going to Mausoleum for the first round, so we'll see how it goes. Ku doing a really great job of keeping his composure so far.
Yeah, just adjusting his I mean, he's got his sound actually plugged into the game, so I guess he was just checking his Twitter.
Yeah.
As you do.
Yeah. It was like,
am I trending?
Yeah. Alrighty. Okay, goes back to the original loadout, looks like. Yep. So we're going to go Biffler Ice Dragon again and the Nade Birdchuck. Let's see how this goes, everybody.
Have ourselves again with Ku with a opening at the beginning, but both of them trading blows to start off. This is it. Everything is now on the set. Twin 5.
Oh, that grab from the entire stage, and Ku just kind of, whoops, I guess I got grabbed.
That is bold, man. That's going to get in his head.
Yeah, oh man, that was crazy. Okay, here we go. Cautionary sign comes up. That means a little bit of shield pressure coming in. The arm might break if he's able to apply a little bit more pressure. Nope, he's just able to heal just in time. Both these two almost have rush online. Ku just got his. Twin 5-0 is probably a couple more punches or a couple dashes away from being able to getting his rush as well. Yep, there it is.
We're seeing some really nice movement coming out from Twin right now, but he's going to be caught blocking in that frozen state, but you didn't want to risk being open up with the rush, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I'll give you the free grab, whatever.
Yeah, it's either that or potentially you get locked in a chain of ice because you're constantly trying to hit away. Oh, is he going to be able to get it first? No, but he's able to get his guard up just in time, so neither of those two are just going to trade those rushes.
Yeah, it's a wash, but that ends up benefiting Ku because he is the one with the lead right now. He is holding back right now. He has the ability to provoke Twin to constantly be tossing these things out. Especially when he tossed out that one grab, it just kind of taught Twin, you're not allowed to block either. You still have to keep hitting me.
We got about 10 seconds left on the clock here. I don't know if Twin's going to be able to really get anything started. The defense is just too good, able to break that grab, get a grab of his own. Yep, that's going to be Ku taking round 1 so far.
How crazy is it that Ku is beating Twin 5-0 at his own game, right?
Yeah.
Just showing that he can rock the ironclad defense too. And pulling it out right now when it matters most.
Yep. It's pretty hard for Lollipop to actually try and approach, to be honest, because of how much lag the shield dashes have. Because if you try to use them offensively, then sometimes you can get red, or if you miss, then you just kind of gave up your offense for that turn.
Ku right now starting off so strong, just a flurry of quick wins right there, getting nearly half the health of Twin off of his character.
Okay, goes out for the rush, dashes right through. Man, that is
so
good.
And right now, Ku not even touched in this game either, nearly taking out Twin, finally getting hit by a single Biffler.
Tries to go for the grab, not getting able to fall for it, and he gets grabbed himself. Ku taking game 1. This is
so dominant right now, seeing through that grab and just returning the favor immediately afterwards. I want to say Ku might have the download happening right now.
I wonder if we... I want to believe in the Lollipop, but just the way the playstyles are working out, Ku has just been getting the edge and be able to change it up with the Ninjara and just continue to go to time, not approach, not commit, and not fall for any of the defensive gimmicks that Twin 5-0 is going for.
I mean, the thing that's so impressive is Ku is able to play both sides of the coin within like single rounds. Where we can see how cold he can be, and just constantly waiting for the burst of aggression from Twin to take advantage of. But he also has those moments where he's pressuring knockdowns really hard, and just suddenly within the span of 5 seconds doing like 400, 500 health.
Yeah.
He's able to do both, and you don't really know at what moment he's going to flip that switch, and that is so terrifying to deal with.
Alright, it looks like we're getting a new change of pace as well. Looks like we're going to the scrapyard for our next stage. I wonder if Twin 5-0 wants to change his loadout or just try and maybe see if the stage is enough to try and get the next game.
I mean, this is going to force a lot more verticality into Ku's game plan. And that's one thing that Ku has been enjoying, is just kind of owning this horizontal space. And he's been working on, catching landings and stuff. But it's a little bit harder to catch a landing when they're also like 20 feet, 10 feet above you, Yeah. And there's also pillars to play with as well. We've seen Twin 5-0 get a lot of mileage out of that during round 1 on the Temple Ground stage.
Okay, here we go. Looks like, just keeping the same loadout, it looks like.
Yeah, the scary thing is, it's right now Ku up 1-0. So the gate is closing.
Oh, wow, the laser just went through the pillar right there, and he was able to catch Ninjara there.
Trying to hide up there, but Ku is still able to track the movement and find these hits on Twin 5-0.
Trying to use the high ground to his advantage to be able to try and get a little bit of control here. Scrapyard is definitely one-sided when it comes to that. Ooh, the Biffler comes in, able to get us some damage. Shield pressure going in, not quite, and just gets knocked down by the explosion.
Who trying to, once again, catch this wake-up block. But we're seeing Twin 5-0 not really waking up with block as much. He's jumping away a lot more, too. He's catching wind on the habits that Ku is abusing when he's on the aggressive.
Ooh, and just dashes right into the arm. That's what I'm talking about. If you dash into the arm, then you get into knockdown, even without the property, because you're technically in the air as well.
All this being said, though, Twin is actually winning. He's doing a great job on the stage. The range that the stage gives him, plus just being able to mix up the horizontals and the verticals so well, helping a lot in keeping up his defense.
Oh, breaks the grab. There we go.
Just like that, getting himself a nice, juicy punish on Ku.
All right, this is looking the start of something big for Twin 5-0 so far. About 24 seconds left on the clock. I think he can play the timeout game or just try to get one last hit in to be able to seal out the round. Who knows?
He's tossing out the Bifflers just in case. It's building up some meter that's going to pour into the next round regardless.
Yep.
And in the meantime, I mean, he has to play very careful because there is still that rush, and it's still pretty scary to deal with.
Yep.
There we go.
Yeah, I'm going to be able to knock down Ku with that Ice Dragon. Caught him being a little bit too aggressive as he got desperate for the timeout there. So he's going to take that next round.
Still only at half of his meter, though. But the way he was playing at defense, I don't think that's really going to hurt him that much. He was doing such a good job seeing through the grab attempts and just juking and weaving on that upper little plateau.
All right, the Bifflers just barely missing their mark so far. Trying to make his way in, but the Birdchug's able to get that freeze in and just knock him down.
Twin is keeping it calm up there, not able to find any hits on Ku. It's like Ku's turn to show off his own movement. Twin just still looking for us. Finally finds a hit. Ku's, I mean, he's a ninja, man. He's so hard to pin down.
Yeah, it's the mobility is just absolutely stunning coming from Ku. All right, finally able to get some damage. Oh, but just gets immediately caught by the nade there. That's unfortunate. Does so much damage. It's funny because even though it's just one punch, the way they play this game, like that one punch means a lot in the grand scheme of things.
It absolutely does, man, because we're already halfway past the timer. And the way Ku is playing, the fact that he adjusted to this stage and strategy just within a round, and able to make it this close.
Wow, he was finally able to get that rush. Actually caught the dash that time around. Kind of a risky move there, too, because I thought that maybe he was going to be able to pull out grab in time, but he just went for it, man, and he was able to solidify a lead here.
Yeah, that's so good for Twin, considering how he was able to leverage it previously, but this rush is going to put a hamper on that. He's got a lot less margin of error to work with. Twin is still sticking up to that balcony, though, refusing to come down.
You saw the lip of the ledge kind of mess up Ku's rush there a little bit. Sometimes the arms, they won't hit their opponent, and it'll hit the lip of the stage instead.
We got 5 seconds.
Why I thought it was very smart for him to be there.
Is that going to make the difference? No, just still slightly too much health, and Twin knows it. He jumps back away from that grab, and that's going to give him his first game right now. He needed that so badly. After being 3-0'd in the first set, finally putting yourself back on the board saying, no, I can keep up with you. I am not letting you take this first place away from me. Not now.
Man, the stamina these two have to be facing right now is not even just like a quick set and then a reset. It's like a long, grueling set and then another long, grueling set.
Yes.
Like these guys are playing it to the time so much.
It's grind finals, man.
Grind finals.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay, everybody, we're calling it grind finals.
Okay, I was worried you were going to hit me. I was just like, you can't hit me. We're not the combatants, but...
All right.
Okay, good.
Okay, man. But still, though, like I said, though, the amount of mental capacity you need to be able to continuously play these timeouts, and especially in the last 5 seconds of every match, that's always the most stressful because what if your defense cracks? And what if that camping and what if that defensive play was for nothing, you know?
The thing that's also important to remember is when it comes to counterpick advantage, this all is going to be falling on Ku's feet, right? Because he's going to get his counterpick, and he's probably going to do very well there. And if they were to trade back and forth counterpick, then Ku wins. Like, Twin 5-0 needs to actually dig deep and really pull a full reversal and take that counterpick advantage away. Otherwise, he's still behind in this set. Even though the score says 1-1, he is behind right now.
Yeah. He's gotta pull himself forward and try and get that advantage so that he can get the counterpick advantage too, because it looks like the stage has been very important for these two and like their play styles and how they take advantage of the surroundings, etc.
So I'm assuming Ku is going to go to Temple Ground because he's gone to Temple Ground every single time he's had a choice.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't blame him. I love that stage.
I'm surprised there's no like DSR in ARMS, or either that or they're just downloading it. For those of you that may not be in the other scenes, DSR is just like if you win on a stage, then you can't go back to that stage for the next round.
Yeah.
But who knows?
You don't see it in like traditional fighters as much, but like for platform fighters and for ARMS, where like every stage like actually changes the dynamic incredibly, like very, very big deal.
Yeah. Other FGC games, you just pick random. You just pick your stage.
Or a training room. You know?
Yeah.
Shout out to the Danger Room, Marvel. I've seen that green room too much.
Yeah. Alrighty, here we go. Going to Buster Beach, actually.
Buster Beach. I'm quite surprised too.
Yeah.
It looks like, considering the way the previous game went with the spacing game that Twin 5-0 played, especially on the higher ground, I think he wanted to avoid giving him just more space to roam on Temple Ground, that and the pillars. So he's going to opt for this stage instead. Easier to corner. It's like a billiard table, right? Just so many pockets. Ku right now just being very calm. I think we've seen only 5 punches thrown.
Yeah.
Like these guys are just afraid to press a button. And like seeing people that cautious about throwing arms out, that shows they recognize how much is at stake. Not just for like Evo, but for every single mistake that they might make.
All right, the Biffler gets stopped by the fully charged nade there. Twin 5-0 just trying to get a hit in so far, but it's not quite working.
Ku just looking to try to keep this up, this momentum. He does have a little bit of the lead, the tiniest amount. And you see him backing himself into the back wall as soon as it happens.
Ooh, and just able to catch that whiff, but not able to get much else. Oh, but he was able to get that knockdown with the Biffler, so he's able to get something at least, but not as much as he hoped for, I'm sure.
Oh, man. That was so brave of Twin 5-0 to keep his shield up, because in those situations, that's when Ku likes to grab.
Oh, man, it just barely avoided that rush, able to dash away and pull out the shield just in time. That was a really big break for Twin 5-0.
Careful movement, just scooching forward with the shield. I love that Lollipop can do that.
Yeah. This can slowly inch their way forward and then dash immediately if they try to go for the grab, man.
And that's been working out every single time. It looks like he might be threatened. He jukes his way around, but still trying to close his gap. I mean, he's going to make it have to count, though. Only 7 seconds left. The rush being tossed out, and just that, the one little bop, but just that tiny little boop is going to give him the health lead he needs.
And that's going to be the first round going to Twin 5-0. Wow, that was the clutchest rush I've ever seen in my life. Just one hit. That's all he needed.
Yeah, I just need a lightning fast punish. Just give me one.
Yeah. Man, that was even more health than they had like in the previous round. That was like halfway through their life bar. Like, come on, man.
That's just how much every single interaction is weighing for these two players right now. Who's going to be able to take that early health lead thanks to that chip damage, but we saw that before in the previous game, and Twin 5-0 was able to make up that difference, just slowly inching his way in with that little shield hop.
All right, here we go. Just continuously throwing out those hits. I mean, I feel like Twin 5-0 doesn't really even care about like the hits he gets as long as it's not enough where Rush won't be able to catch that up, because it looks like he's throwing out the arms and hoping of getting Rush more often than anything else. Isn't he able to get... Oh, wow. Actually, never mind.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
One thing that Twin 5-0 is doing such a good job this round is calling out the roll directions by Ku, just constantly calling it out and tossing out both arms and catching him with some big damage. And because of that, he's found himself at a pretty nice lead, about 250, 300 health. Just like that, once again, another great juke. Twin 5-0 finding his rhythm. What a time to find it, too. After losing 4 games in a row, now on the verge of taking his second game.
Yep. Oh, just going to dash away. Not able enough to take the guard up in time. But the explosion misses, so he's going to be able to stand, but he gets grabbed immediately after. 20 seconds left on the clock, but he's got Rush online too. He's going to probably try and not use it first, and there we go. Twin 5-0 takes it 2-0.
There we go. And this is what counts now. It's up 2-1. He's the one who's going to get a pick. If it comes to a Game 5, he gets to choose where it happens. And we hear the crowd actually livening up right now, rooting for the chance for Twin 5-0 to take this whole event just one more game.
Whew, boy. These Twin 5-0. Just
thinking very carefully right now.
Yeah, well,
justifiably so.
Yeah, both these two, actually.
Absolute focus coming out from Twin 5-0. He's figured out the pacing he wants to play. He's the one in the driver's seat, finally. Yeah. After so long, they pulled over, they had a pit stop, and he took over. He's been driving home ever since.
Yo, man, I gotta know what Ku's checking every time on this phone. Is he like analyzing data or something?
I assume it's actually notes to himself. Like, if I'm honest, I think especially after his previous set in Winners Finals, I wouldn't be surprised if he took some notes during that 5-minute break between Losers Finals and Grands as well. Just like, this is what went wrong for me. Remember these fundamental things. But like, yeah, you gotta skim it over one last time in this situation. No more games to give, and he's gonna be opting for Mausoleum as his stage of choice right now. Game 4, Grand Finals, set 2. Here we go.
Yeah, Twin 5-0 versus Ku. Here we go. So Twin 5-0 just needs 2 rounds to be able to take EVO 2018, everybody. We'll see how these two players fare out.
Ku right now looking to close out that gap, putting on that pressure immediately, dashing in with that grab.
Ooh, wow. Pretty close quarter so far, and immediately gets the ice into another grab. No time for Twin to try and go for some mix-ups there.
Look at that. 500 damage dealt to Twin, uncontested. Ku looking and finding another grab. Look at all this difference that he's putting in. Yeah. His notes on his phone are incredible.
Yeah. Oh, man. And just one more Birdchuck into a grab. That's all he needs to be able to take this first match, and with a perfect pretty much, too. So he's got to be careful, or Twin 5-0's got to be careful.
Oh my goodness, yeah, he's definitely working on it. Ku inching his way in. Even now, even though he's got this lead, we see him not scared, not wanting to run out that clock anymore. Very different.
All right, able to finally get the knockdown with the Biffler. Goes for the grab. That's going to be a lot of damage, 150, and he's going to get the knockdown. What's the follow-up going to be? Goes for the Biffler into another grab, but it's just enough for the rush to be able to break it, and he's going to be able to take for his first round.
Yeah, Ku having to spend that rush, but otherwise looking very comfortable, especially during the beginning part, on the verge of perfecting Twin 5-0. Looks like he found his composure, especially the way he's been leveraging his offense a lot more than he was previously. Essentially stepping on the gas when he finds himself in a good situation as opposed to trying to leverage that defensive play, because Twin 5-0 has stepped up his own pressure over the course of this 2-set Grand Finals.
All right, here we go. Just back to the defensive play. It looks like Ku's just trying to be very careful about where he throws his punches, and that explosion there from the nade is going to be able to do 50 damage.
Ku finding his way in, carefully flanking too.
Ooh, that was a really quick rush there. Able to get 330 damage. That's really big for Twin 5-0.
He's getting his way inside. You see this dash is so intimidating.
Yeah.
But Twin is keeping his wall up. He's keeping Ku out, doing a lot better than he did previous. Like, he's slowly building his lead as much as Ku is trying to chip away at it.
And the rush pressure is coming out. Oh, the dash comes in, but he's able to pull out the shield just in time. Gonna break the arms? Not quite. Gonna allow the arms to regenerate and get some health back.
Twin just, again, staying his back far against the wall, playing dodgeball, dodge arm rather, against Ku's onslaught.
Oh, just able to walk away barely and just get a little bit of chip damage from that Birdchuck.
26 seconds left on the clock, and dead even health all around, but a rush blown away. Ku is going to find himself a grab and a solid lead. 20 seconds left.
Oh, able to get that Ice Dragon? Will he be able to? Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Cycling through the Ice Dragons and able to get that grab, and that's going to be Twin 5-0 taking the next round.
That's it. This is tournament point for Twin 5-0. If he can take this, he takes EVO 2018 for ARMS.
Alrighty, match point for Twin 5-0. Oh, he just goes immediately for the grab, man.
Okay, this guy, Twin 5-0 is feeling absolutely confident right now. I don't think he's going to choke at all if it comes down to that, because going in immediately for that grab, knowing that he has the boldness to, and not going to be punished for it either, you know?
Caught by the Birdchuck. What does he do? Just takes the grab. I like it. Just doesn't want to avoid the cycling that we just saw earlier that Ku fell for.
And plus it has the benefit of, in case he loses this round, you know, more conditioning, and next time he can mix it up and do something different.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, Twin 5-0 looking to even this up. He's the one on the back foot. And Ku is still keeping his mid-range, too. Wants to be able to be in a position to whiff punish as fast as possible.
I like that he pulled out the shield first just to avoid the nade explosion, and then went for the attempted rush there, but wasn't able to find anything. So he's going to have to cycle back and gain some more meter to be able to try and take this next round.
Ku in a good situation. 44 seconds left and nearly full health and rush to boot.
Yeah, Ku's just content to throw out that Birdchuck and just make it so that it's very difficult for Twin 5-0 to really throw out that Biffler and get damage, because the two medium arms are going to beat out the light arm every time.
The one thing I've noticed that's helping Ku so much in this game is that a lot of times he starts leaning into the right side of Twin 5-0, which is the Ice Dragon side, so that when that whiffs, it's wide open for a hit as a whiff punish.
What's the attempted punish? He's just going for the Biffler, but he's not able to find the pokes he needs.
13 seconds, and just like that, the rush stuffed. Ku's putting himself in a great position to move on to a Game 5. And that's going to be it, absolutely.
Goes for the grab. There's nothing that Twin 5-0 can really do about it.
This is it. It's going to be going to the final game. It's going to be now up to Twin 5-0 to pick the last stage. The final stage we're going to see here for ARMS at EVO.
Alrighty, what's the stage pick going to be? I'm trying to read their lips. I just want to know, man. This is so intense, and I just want to get to the end of the story, man. Because this is absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
Game 5. Reset. I think this is game 15, right?
Oh, across both of their sets?
No. Yeah,
it would be game 12.
Like 12, right?
Yeah, game 12 of these two guys having to fight each other relentlessly. And it all comes down to this $1,000 pot bonus plus the, $400, $440 from the actual entrance itself. Not to mention, I mean, that's just the money. You know, these guys they're competitors. They want the title.
It's a pride.
It's
a pride, man.
I not only beat Pega, I took the tournament. That's for Twin 5-0. And meanwhile, Ku, who's been pouring his heart and soul into this game, traveling thousands of miles, just constantly grinding away, having the chance to take the biggest title of them all. There's nothing bigger than this. This is the time. This is the do or die moment for both of these guys, and they're ready to do or die. They both brush their hair away at the same moment too.
Oh boy. So we're gonna go to Buster Beach. This is the final stage of our run here at EVO 2018. Let's see how this goes down. Twin 5-0, Ku, both in losers bracket. Let's see how this goes, everybody. I like the dynamic camera shots. Mr. T.O. man is definitely looking at it.
All right. We have Twin 5-0 backing himself down into that lower side.
Oh, the Birdchuck just barely reaches him. What does he go for the mix-up? Just pulls out the guard up in time and is able to avoid the ice chains.
Yeah, and it looks like that's what Ku was looking to mix up, because he said this is the final game. He's going to do something to get away from my grab. I'm going to try to punish it, right?
Yeah.
They're all pulling out their last mix-ups right here because there's nothing more to save them for. Yeah. This is it. Pull out every single joke, every little half gag you came up with, every little mind game.
Yep. Oh, frozen again. What does he go for? This time breaks the grab. Oh, and he's actually able to interrupt that rush. That is so big for Twin 5-0 to try and take this first round, and he's got rush himself.
He has to land it. If he doesn't land it, he's still in a terrible position, and Ku is going to make it even worse. Going to find that grab. Twin 5-0, nearly half of his health gone, nearly half the time gone. He's going to need to lay on that pressure, force Ku into a corner. Otherwise, he's not going to be able to bring this back.
Yeah, he's been having such a hard time just opening up Ku, getting anything started, because Ku's defense, again, has been so spectacular. And every time he's been trying to go on the offense, Ku is able to reversal that so efficiently.
And what's made that so terrifying is he's able to be so defensive while still closing the gap to make it harder and harder for you to toss anything out, because he finds these whip punishes, finds these little hits here and there. And just like that, a quarter of health left for Twin 5-0 and only 17 seconds to make a comeback.
All right, going to put it on knockdown. What does he do here? Tries to go for something, but he just dashes away, gets that grab. Going to get 150 damage and 8 seconds on the clock.
That's basically it. This round is going to Ku. Both players going to go into the next round with full rush ready to go.
Yep. Alrighty.
Ku 1 round away from taking EVO 2018. Having to go through, some pretty scary people in his own right. Twin 5-0, final chance. Once again, forces that back wall, playing this defense against the pressure that Ku is laying on. The Twin 5-0 is slowly inching his way forward with that shield up, with that tiny little balloon hop.
Yeah, he tries to do a timing mix-up there. Looked like he's just stayed in shield a little bit longer. Try to mix it up. Oh, finally going to get that ice. Dashes away in the grab.
Yeah, he dashes away as he grabs, too. That made it a little bit easier for Ku to react. So Ku's going to find his opening, once again, putting himself on a lead. A tiny one, but, I mean, we've seen these things snowball before.
Oh, and the explosion is able to knock down.
He's going to back away. Perfect dodge with the Bifflers. And again, using that Birdchuck to get through it, but the rush is going to put a stop to that.
Yeah, 330 damage. That's really big for Twin 5-0. Ku has his own rush, so as long as he can avoid that, then he can try to take this next round. Ooh, and gets another knockdown. That's really big for Twin 5-0. Goes for a full range grab, even when his opponent has rush. This man is playing all of the cards here.
And just like that, can he get out of the way? He puts up the shield just in time. This leverages the damage. Going to be grabbed for it, but that's okay. 36 seconds left to go. Still a strong lead for Twin. If he can just keep this momentum rolling along, the Bifflers are helping him get that job done.
Yeah, and he's got the rush. He's going to want to save that for the next round. Gets the Ice Dragon hit again, and we're probably going to go to a last round, but this is ARMS. Anything can happen, so I don't want to call any shots so far.
It's 15 seconds left. At this point, it is undoable for Ku. I think he'd have to build up rush and then land it flawlessly right now. Actually, he might be able to do it.
This is really big. He's got to be really careful. About 4 seconds left on the clock.
3, 2, 1.
But he's going to get the landing, and he's not going to get the grab. Does that count?
It is, and Ku takes it. And just like that, Ku is your EVO 2018 ARMS champion. He pops out of his seat, being able to take that just on the cusp, right when it looked like it was going to be forced to go to the final hit. Ku doing a fantastic job. Twin 5-0 coming so close in his own right, putting up a fantastic fight in that final set between these two guys. But Japan rushes the stage immediately to Ku's side. We do have America actually coming up to Twin 5-0, giving him the props for the fantastic work he did here as well.
Got to give props to both these players, man. That was an absolutely insane grand finals. I could not have wished for anything better. Just a slow stand-up when Ku realizes that he's taken the tournament.
Yeah,
Ku is your new ARMS at EVO champion.
Yeah, he's maybe the new target. This is definitely the start of something different, man. This is the biggest possible event, most prestigious event. And then being able to take it over Pega, over the people that took Pega out, being able to keep your composure through 4 sets in a row. Just fantastic stuff by Ku, and all the adjustments he had to make along the way against all of these opponents.
Yeah.
Really incredible stuff.
Mm-hmm. And this is one of the biggest ARMS tournaments we've had so far. We've had talent like Resolve, Gormagala, Twin 5-0, the Detonation Boys. There's so much going down here at this tournament. There's so much going on. But it's been an absolute wild ride, and I was so happy, and it's been an honor to be able to commentate ARMS 2018 for you guys here.
I'm looking forward to seeing what happens for ARMS from here, man. Like if this is the taste for what's to come in year 2, like this is gonna be a very, very fun game to follow in the future, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed the casting, but I think that's gonna close out the tournament here today for ARMS. Be sure to check out the rest of the events that are coming up later tonight, and be sure to check out the other 6 EVO streams we have, because we got a lot of games, we got a lot of fighting going on this weekend, so hope you guys stick around for it. I've been Sedge.
I'm G-Pick.
All right, hope you guys enjoy the rest of the show.
Saturday, August 11th, Body Count Fighting returns with a series of exhibition matches in Dragon Ball FighterZ. That was sick. Street Fighter V and Tekken 7. Featuring a Dragon Ball FighterZ title match between NLBC rivals Hook Gang God and To Kill Sage. Then, Joey Fury returns to defend his Tekken 7 championship belt in a title match against Wade Gamble. Oh no! And while Smug is on vacation with the championship belt, 8 of the best players in Street Fighter V will enter the ring to prove they should be the next BCF title contender. Who will win? Watch Body Count Fighting 7 on Saturday, August 11th on twitch.tv/BC Fighting at 5 p.m. Pacific to find out.
Nissin Cup Noodles.
Oh, look at my